Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Will Charlton here with you today from Ashwaubenon, as it is the final regular season meeting between the Green Bay Rockers and your Wausau Woodchucks. Last night, it was another dramatic game for Wausau, as it was the third straight one-run win for the Woodchucks. After back-to-back walk-off games against the Lakeshore Chinooks, the Woodchucks won last night 4-3 in extras. We're down 3-2 in the top of the ninth before Colin Brigham tied the game up with an RBI single. That put us into the 10th, and then Mark Schallenberger drove in the winning run in Brennan Holt, which, fun fact, he's been the winning run in back-to-back games. That was the winning run for Jesse Donahoe's 2 RBI double against Lakeshore that walked off the Chinooks on Friday. And now, the Woodchucks, Jesse Donahoe too, are looking to sweep this two-game set against the Green Bay Rockers and take the season series 7-5, as the 4 straight winning Woodchucks are up to bat to start off today, and it's Dalton Pearson who takes inside fastball from Grayson Walker, who's starting again against the Woodchucks. Pearson, 1-0 count from Walker, and he fouls off the fastball. The lineup tonight, or today rather, for the Woodchucks in the Sunday afternoon game, it's Dalton Pearson, Jesse Donahoe, Mark Schallenberger, Colin Brigham, Brent Witter, Andrew Jimenez, Jake Baker, Jake English, and then Brennan Holt. And we'll talk about the defense of Green Bay in a second. 1-1 to Pearson, high and inside from Grayson Walker, the Dickinson College product from Newton Square, Pennsylvania, who is now facing off against the Woodchucks for the third time this summer. Third straight appearance against the Wausau Woodchucks for Grayson Walker. His previous 2 starts have been against the Woodchucks, as Pearson fouls off the 2-1 not into the dugout, but just above it for Wausau. Last time out, it was at Athletic Park. He went 4 1/3, allowing 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, striking out 4 and walking 2. And then the outing before that was 2 full innings of work, allowing 5 hits, 6 runs all earned, striking out 1 and walking 2 in the 6-5 win for the Woodchucks. That's 2-game split where each team won 6-5 here and in Wausau. Pearson takes outside off speed from Grayson Walker, who is now starting for the fourth time this season, or 7th time starting this season rather for Walker, as Pearson takes a walk. So he is the first base runner of the game. But Walker, 2-2 record, 6.34 ERA, opposing batting average of 299, a 1.65 walks and hits per innings pitched rate. He's allowed 38 hits, 24 runs, 23 earned, has struck out 24 and walked 16. And now it's Jesse Donahoe with Pearson on first base. Walker, first pitch to Donahoe, low and outside on the changeup. Grayson Walker, the 6'4", 200 right-hander, just finished up his sophomore year at Dickinson College in Pennsylvania. 1-0. Fastball, strike 1 to Jesse Donahoe. On defense today for the Green Bay Rockers, in the outfield, it's JoJo Jackson in left, Kendall Ewell in center, Jack Coleman in right, the same outfield that finished the game yesterday. On the corners, Jason Jones at third, Mateo Matthews at first, up the middle, Cooper Kelly at shortstop, Andrew Harris, a returning Rocker, at second base, Carlos Hernandez behind the dish, and then it's Grayson Walker on the mound. He checked over to first, and Dalton Pearson with nothing doing. Pearson, 15 stolen bases on the season. So certainly someone who could try and run over to second base and put himself in scoring position for his Georgia State teammate, Jesse Donahoe. Donahoe playing in his 40th game as a Woodchuck, starting his 39th, batting .306, 45 hits, which is second on the team behind Pearson's 49. And he's one of 20 hitters in the Northwoods League to have 45 or more hits. Pretty big lead at first for Pearson. Walker taking his time. And Pearson back to first base just safely. Close check over from Grayson Walker. Donahoe 9 doubles on the season, his last being the 2 RBI double that walked off Lakeshore on Friday night. The fireworks before the fireworks went off at Athletic Park as Pearson gets checked out at first base once again, but this time it's not even close. Donahoe also has 2 triples, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs, and 30 runs scored on the season. Also 27 walks, which is the most on the Woodchucks team. 1-1. And Donahoe into right field. It's on a line, and it is dropping. And it's misplayed by Holman. So Donahoe now with 46 hits on the season, and runners now at first and second for the Woodchucks. The Woodchucks did not score their first run or have their first base runner. Let me restart that. They didn't have their first base runner until Mark Schallenberger's double in the 4th inning. Pitcher Maddox Long yesterday went through the order 1 through 9, only 3 innings. He went 1, 2, 3 in the first, second, third, and then only allowed 1 base runner was Mark Schallenberger after the double. One of his 2 doubles in the game yesterday before his 2 RBI double tied the game in his next at-bat. A 3-hit night yesterday for Mark Schallenberger, who's at the plate currently, against Grayson Walker with runners on first and second, and Pearson and Donahoe. And Schallenberger takes outside curveball. Schallenberger now playing in his 12th game as a Woodchuck, starting his 11th in his return to Wausau this summer. Batting .450, which is overall the best on the team. His 3 hits yesterday, now at 18 in just 11 games played. Has the non-qualified best batting average on the team. By far, as well. Like mentioned, 2 doubles yesterday, now at 6 on the season. And his one that tied the game up in the 6th inning, being the biggest. And then he hit a single in the 10th that gave the Woodchucks the win. Schallenberger swings through the 1-2, and he is down on strikes. Out number 1 here in the inning for Grayson Walker. As that is rare for me to say. I don't remember last time I said Schallenberger struck out. Power hitting Evansville ace, Mark Schallenberger is down, which brings up the Oklahoma State Cowboy from Smithton, Illinois, Colin Brigham. Still runners on first and second as Walker checks back to second base, but Pearson is safe over there. Brigham drove in the tying run in the 9th yesterday that forced the game into the bottom of the 9th inning. His 1 hit of yesterday's game. And the curveball catches the outer half of the strike zone from Walker. That's now 0-1 count to Brigham, who is playing in his 25th game and starting his 25th as a Woodchuck, batting .347, which qualified as the best batting average of the team. 34 hits, which is 3rd by himself, and he hits this one into left field. JoJo Jackson is under it, and he will make the grab. Pearson thought about tagging up, but he won't. And that is back-to-back outs that Walker has faced after allowing 2 base runners to Pearson and Donahoe. As Brent Witter comes to the plate, he will have to get on base to keep the inning alive. Brent Witter, the Evansville ace from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Now playing in his 29th game as return to Wausau this summer. Batting .297, 33 hits. As Pearson gets checked at second base once again. 6 doubles, 12 RBIs, 21 runs scored, 16 walks, 4 stolen bases, and a .400 on base percentage. And last time he had hits in a game, it was against Fond du Lac on Wednesday, where he had 5. 5 for 6 night for Brent Witter in that game against the Dock Spiders. And those 5 hits are the most by a Woodchuck in any game this season. High changeup for ball 1 to Witter. It's still Donahoe at first and Pearson at second with 2 outs now. As the Woodchucks looking to get on the board early against Grayson Walker. And trying to give starting pitcher Nate Nabholz some support today. Last time we were in Green Bay, too, Nate Nabholz came on the broadcast with me. So that was fun. I'm pretty sure we'll have some guest appearances today as well on the call. A couple of guys told me they were interested in coming on the broadcast today, so we will see. High fastball for ball 2. 2-1 count between Witter and Walker. Witter's got a good amount of his family here at the game today. Two one. Inside curveball. 3-1 count as Walker throws the 3-1, and it's inside. Brent Witter has forced a walk, which loads the bases here in the first inning. So, with bases loaded, that's going to be what brings up the first at-bat of the summer and the first at-bat ever in the Northwoods League for Andrew Jimenez. Northwoods League debut today for the UW-Milwaukee Panther and Woodchucks debut. The South Elgin, Illinois native, Jimenez. Right-handed batter, playing first base today. Just finished up his redshirt sophomore year with the UW-Milwaukee Panthers of the Horizon League. And he check swings at the 1-0, and he did come around according to first base umpire Philip Jean Luis. Brandon Smith behind the plate. Wanted to check over to make sure, and that's in favor of the Rockers. 1-1 count to Jimenez. Walker, and Jimenez is through it for strike 2. At third base today, Caleb Kador as well, so that rounds out the umpiring crew. So whenever I say one of their names, just know that their respective position. I'll say that, of course, again, where they're at. 1-2. Jimenez takes inside. He's come off a season at Milwaukee where he only played in 10 games, but batted .444, 4 hits and 9 at-bats total. Drove in 1 run, scored a couple, had a .444 slugging percentage and a .500 on-base percentage. 2-2. And he lays off. Yep, the check over to Jean Louis once again in favor of the Woodchucks this time as he laid off the outside breaking ball. Full count. A walk gives the Woodchucks the lead, and out gets us into the bottom of the first with no damage done to Green Bay. Payoff pitch. Outside and low. And the Woodchucks have taken a 1-0 lead. Well done, Andrew Jimenez. Your first at bat drove in a run. That's kind of funny getting an RBI for a walk. I always thought that was a fun rule in baseball, that if you take 4 pitches with bases loaded, you drive in a run and get an RBI credited to your name. So, you're still without a record at bat, but you have an RBI to your name. So that's not a terrible way to start your season if you're Andrew Jimenez from the plate. And now with bases loaded comes the Kansas Jayhawk, Jake Baker. So Jake Baker facing off against Grayson Walker with bases loaded still. But this time it's Pearson who just scored. So now it's Donahoe at third, Witter at second, and Jimenez at first as Baker takes outside ball 1, righty-lefty matchup. Baker playing right field today. And Walker misses high. Green Bay's already warming up an arm in the bullpen. It's a left-hander. And I believe, if my eyes don't deceive me, that is Jacob Liberta. As Chris Krepleen seems pretty frustrated so far with Grayson Walker. Baker fouls off the 2-0. I also have to imagine that Walker's probably getting pretty close to that 35 pitch count rule. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. Has already allowed 3 walks, too. So his pitch count's probably getting up there already. If you didn't know, there is a rule in the Northwoods League that if you throw 35 or more pitches in the inning, you cannot come back into the ballgame. As Baker fouls it off again, the count is 2-2. Walker fighting back from going up 2-0. Or going down 2, I guess, in his case. Woodchucks already lead at 1-0, scoring a lot earlier than they did yesterday. Also, fun fact, yesterday's game, the 4-3 win for the Woodchucks, was the first time that neither side put up 6 or more runs in a winning effort in the season series. And the total of 10 wins combined between these two. Each team had scored 6 or more runs as Baker swings and misses, and Walker picks up a second strikeout in the inning. And that will do it for the top of the first. The Woodchucks take a 1-0 lead, but lead bases loaded, stranded, and they'll come out on defense when we start the bottom of the first. You're listening to Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Woodchucks that taking the field on defense. Let's see who's out there. In the outfield from left to right, it's Mark Schallenberger, Dalton Pearson, and Jake Baker. In the infield, Brent Witter at third. Andrew Jimenez at first. Up the middle is Jesse Donahoe at shortstop. Brendan Holt at second base. Behind the dish is Jake English. And on the mound is the Woodchucks ace, Nate Nabholz, the Cressona, Pennsylvania native, and the Towson Tiger, who is starting for the first time since Monday when he faced off against who? Well, these Green Bay Rockers. He went 4 2/3, getting the win in the 18-7 rout of Green Bay at Athletic Park. And Nabholz facing off once again this season against the Green Bay Rockers, a team he's seen a good amount of. Now his third start against Green Bay this season. And his first pitch, a low off speed to the leadoff man Kendall Ewell, the Kentucky Wildcat from Calumet City, Illinois. Kendall Ewell, a great guy to have leading off for the Rockers. Pure contact hitter. As this is hit on a line into left field. That's got some carry to it. That's over the head of Schallenberger. Kendall Ewell's heading off to second base. And he's in there. That's a leadoff double for Kendall Ewell. And like I said, he's a great guy to have leading off because he can do just that. And he's already in scoring position, only one at bat. Kendall Ewell came in batting .326 with 30 hits on the season. That was 7 doubles. He had 6 coming into the game. That's his 31st hit of the game, or 31st hit of the season. Only 24 games played coming into this game today. Nabholz now making his 8th appearance and 7th start of the summer. He's 3-1 with a 2.5 ERA, a .93 whip rate. He's gone 39 2/3 innings pitched, has the 3rd lowest ERA in the entire Northwoods League at 2.5, as he gets Jason Jones fouling off the first pitch curveball. He struck out 34, allowed 30 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, has only walked 7, and has an opposing batting average of 216. He allows hits, but he makes you try to swing at his pitches. Naples checks over to second base. Last time out against Green Bay, like I mentioned, he picked up the win in 4 2/3 innings of work, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs all earned, and struck out 3. Jason Jones, it's a fastball. It's hit into deep center field, and it's out of here. Jason Jones hit his 4th home run of the season, and it's 2-1 Green Bay. So 4th home run of the season for Jason Jones, who did not have a hit in last night's game. And now first pitch swinging by Carlos Hernandez. It's to Donahoe, and that is out number 1 here in the inning. Carlos Hernandez grounds out into a 6-3. After Carlos Hernandez, it's going to be JoJo Jackson. Then it's Mateo Matthews, AJ Anzai, Jack Coleman, Andrew Harris, and Cooper Kelly. We'll round it out in the 9 hole. Last time that Jason Jones hit a home run, it was over that right field wall. And it walked off the win for the Rockers. Like mentioned, Nabholz does give up hits, but he makes you swing at his pitches because he's such a good strike thrower. And every once in a while, things like that will happen, especially in a park where if you get a hold of it in the right field, it's got a chance to leave. JoJo Jackson, it's a soft roll in the infield. That's going to be an infield single. That looked like it barely even went off his bat. It was like a bunt, basically. And Brent Witter had no play on it at third base. That's a infield single. And already the 3rd hit of the game in the inning. So Green Bay's bats are alive so far on this Sunday, as they're looking to break a 5-game losing streak now and split the season series with the Woodchucks 6-6 apiece. Mateo Matthews up to bat, and he swings at the first fastball by Nabholz. Only the 12th and 13th earned runs of the season allowed to Nate. As Matthews fouls off. Matthews was the last out of last night's game. And was the DH yesterday for the Rockers. He did have a single in the game, as well as the final out, which was a fly out to center field. His single came in his first at bat. In the second, and Nabholz picks up his first strikeout. Swinging through it is Matthews. And that's out number 2 here in the inning. So now Nate will be looking to try and get the Woodchucks out of this inning. Facing off against AJ Anzai, who comes into his 18th game hitting-wise, batting .313 with 15 hits, 4 doubles, a home run, 8 RBIs, and 8 walks. Nabholz checks to Jimenez at first, making sure JoJo Jackson isn't going anywhere. Jackson, a guy who certainly can be a threat on the base path, has 8 stolen bases on the season. The Chapman University product Anzai fouls off the first pitch fastball by Nabholz. So 0-1 to Anzai from Nate. And Anzai hits this one into deep right. That's not going to be a home run, but it'll be off the wall. He's going to stay at first. And what's crazy about that hit is that any other ballpark, that's a double. Any other ballpark, that is 100% a gap shot double. But because of the fact of how shallow that right field wall is, It was played off the wall, and he can only get to first base, but that is the 4th hit of the inning against Nabholz. As the Rockers are striking early here. Now runners on the corners with 2 outs bring up Jack Holman, the right fielder from UCLA. And by way of Wrightwood, California, he was the guy who grounded into the double play in the 10th inning yesterday. And it's a ground ball, and it's past the glove of Brendan Holt, and that's an RBI single for Jack Holman. It's 3-1 Rockers. The Rockers are already into batter number 8 of the inning as Brock Moss, the field manager for the Woodchucks, is going out there to talk with Nabholz. So after allowing 3 runs here in the first inning already, that brings up the 8-hitter Andrew Harris from Rockford, Illinois, and by way of UW Parkside. He's playing in his first game back with the Rockers since he was a temporary guy to start the season. And so far, in 14 games played with Green Bay earlier this season, he hit 152. 7 hits in 46 at-bats and takes first pitch strike from Nabholz. Runners on first and second with 2 outs as Nate looks to get out of the inning. And that is a breaking ball. It just dropped right before the plate. That's a tough one to swing at if you're Andrew Harris, but it's an 0-2 count as Nabholz looks for one more out to try and get the Woodchucks to bat again. And Andrew Harris swings at an elevated fastball. Nabholz picks up a second strikeout, but the Rockers put up 3. It was highlighted by a 2-run home run by Jason Jones. The Woodchucks will look to respond when we return on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. It's time for the top of the second inning as Green Bay has already put up more hits than they did of all of yesterday. They had 4 hits only in the game, and they had 5 in the first inning, as well as tying the total runs they scored in yesterday's game. They lead it 3-1 here as we start the second inning of play from Ashwaubenon in Titletown, USA. As Grayson Walker is into the game for a second inning. So obviously he did not go over 35 pitches in the first. And his first pitch off speed inside to Jake English, the 8-hitter for the Woodchucks, who leads off the second inning. The Kansas Jayhawk from Olathe, Kansas. The catcher today. And he hits a fly ball into center field. And that is where Kendall Ewell standing, who makes the grab for out number 1 here in the second. So now up to bat will be Brennan Holt, the Oklahoma State Cowboy, now soon to be South Alabama Jaguar. As Holt, playing in back-to-back games now, was playing second base yesterday, back there again today. The Baton Rouge, Louisiana native, now playing his 23rd game as a Woodchuck, starting his 21st, batting .188 in the season, 13 hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. And that came against these Rockers. That was at Athletic Park in the 18-7 win that Wausau had on Monday against Green Bay. 2-0 between Walker and Holt. He also has driven in 11 runs and has been walked 11 times. And like I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, he has been the provider of the winning run for Wausau in back-to-back games now. Scored the winning run against Lakeshore on Friday night and then was driven in for the 4th run of the game yesterday. He came home in the 10th. As the 3-1 to Holt, who looks to be the first base runner for the Woodchucks in the inning. Walker, and Holt swings through it on the fastball. 3-2 to Brennan Holt. Walker with Pearson on deck, and it is just low. 1-out walk puts Brennan Holt at first base, which brings up Dalton Pearson for the second time in the same amount of innings. He reached on a walk as well, speaking of walks, in his first at-bat. And that walk was his 21st of the season. He comes into his 37th game and 36th start, batting .343, 49 hits, which leads the team at his 4th in the entire Northwoods League. One of 20 hitters with 45 hits as he takes first pitch fastball from Walker for strike 1. 14 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs, 31 RBIs, 21 walks now, 40 runs scored, 15 stolen bases, .559 slugging percentage, .426 on base percentage. Yesterday's game was his 16th multi-hit game of the season. And he's now currently on a 9-game on-base streak and a 6-game hit streak. Dalton Pearson. It's a 1-1 between him and Walker. Holt off to second base, and Pearson on a line into right field. Holt's off to third. A hit and run was on. As fumbling the ball in right was Jack Holman, and that brings on home Brennan Holt. That's an error. Second hit of the game for the Woodchucks. As Dalton Pearson, I'll have to see later on if that's going to be an RBI for him. I doubt it will be because Brennan Holt got home because of the error. So I'm assuming Pearson will not have an RBI there, but that's a single turned into him being on second base. And welcome to the 50-hit club in the Northwoods League, Dalton Pearson. That is a very exclusive club, and he is now a part of it. He is now one of 4 batters with 50 or more hits in the entire league. And his single has shortened this Rocker lead to 1. Donahoe into left on a fly ball, and JoJo Jackson made that look harder than it needed to be. But he caught it. So now it's 3-2 as Pearson's still in score position at second. And Mark Schallenberger coming to the plate. Schallenberger 0 for 1 was struck out in his first at-bat. One of 2 strikeouts so far for Grayson Walker, which I feel like I have not said much of at all. Mark Schallenberger has only been struck out 4 times rather, as Pearson safely steals third. Close play, but Hernandez behind the plate could not make the throw on the bag. And Pearson's 16 stolen bases now in the season. And if Mark Schellenberger can get a hit, he'll tie this ball game at 3. 0-1 to the Evansville ace Schellenberger. High. And Hernandez did a little pump fake over to third as Pearson giggling over there. One to Schellenberger with 2 outs here in the top of the second. And Walker misses outside with the curveball. Two one between Walker and Schellenberger. And that one hit Schellenberger on the knee. And Pearson tried to maybe come home, but after it was a hit by pitch, he had to stay at third. So runners on the corners now with 2 outs, and Chris Kreplin has seen enough out of Grayson Walker, it looks like.
Fans, be sure to make Stadium View your post-game home after every Rockers game. Take your tickets to the Stadium View for a free drink with purchase.
At least I'm pretty sure he's making a pitching change. As, yep, he is. He's bringing in Jacob Liberta. So Grayson Walker is done after an inning and 2/3. And we will introduce Liberta when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Jacob Liberta coming into the game for Green Bay. He's making his 17th appearance of this season. The University of Hawaii at Hilo product. Liberta comes in after 25 full innings of work so far this season with a 7.56 ERA. A whip rate of 2 flat and opposing batting average of 277. Like mentioned, in 25 innings of work, he has allowed 26 hits, 23 runs, 21 of which earned, 24 hits, has walked 10, and struck out 9. The left-hander from Phoenix, Arizona, who stands at 6'1", 190, and will be coming in to face off against the Wausau Woodchucks.
Now batting for Wausau, designated hitter number 41, Colin Brigham.
For the 5th time this season. He's seen a lot of these Woodchucks, and he's facing off against Colin Brigham to start off his outing. He's looking to come in and get 1 out that holds Green Bay the lead into their half of the second. Wausau ready with a run here in the second, as Brigham with Pearson and Schellenberger on base is now down 0-2. A lefty-lefty matchup. between Liberta and Brigham. Brigham flew out to left field in his first at bat. As Liberta the 0-2. And Brigham fouls it off. So Collins stays alive at 0-2. As Liberta ready to try that pitch again. Woodchucks in their road grays with blue seas once again today. As Liberta goes low on the changeup. And the Rockers in their alternate uniforms, the red tops with white pants and the guitar that goes down the left arm of each player. It's actually kind of a cool look of a jersey, I'm not going to lie. 1-2. And Brigham swings through it. Liberta picks up a big strikeout. And Brigham is down for the second time of the game. That ends the second, and the Woodchucks leave 2 runners stranded this time. So 5 total runners stranded on base so far in 2 innings of play in the game. Nate Nabbles coming out there for his second inning of work when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just 1 line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Cooper Kelly will be the leadoff man for the Rockers as we start the second inning. And Nate Nabbles looking for a more successful second on the mound after allowing 3 runs on 5 hits in the first. Kelly, the switch hitting Kansas Jayhawk from Overland Park, Kansas, batting left-handed against the right-handed throwing Nate Nabbles, who missed with the curveball. 1-0. Fastball outside, 2-0 to Cooper Kelly, who was batting in the 9-hole last night. He's currently on a 10-game hit streak. He had a hit last night as well. 2-0. Fastball, strike 1. Well, obviously, if I said he had a 10-game hit streak, he had a hit last night, so that's pretty much implied. He had 2 hits last night. And he swings through the 2-1 for strike 2. Singled in the first and second and fifth innings, and he also had a sac fly RBI as well. Nabbles goes off speed and it misses inside and low. Kelly on the season batting .248 in 38 games played, and he hits a short little pop in the infield. That's going to be an infield base hit for Cooper Kelly. Brent Witter tried to make a play on it, but was too late to it. Already the 6th hit for the Rockers, who, like mentioned, only had 4 in the entire game yesterday. And Nabholz allows the leadoff man to reach base in this inning as well, as that brings up Kendall Ewell for the second time. Ewell doubled off Nabholz in the first at bat, and his first pitch off speed inside for ball one. One 0. It's inside again. 2-0 between Nabholz and Ewell. Ewell also scored the first run off the 2-run jack by Jason Jones. And he hits a fastball down the left field line, but goes foul. A bit ahead of it. Kendall Ewell, like mentioned, came into this game in only 24 play, batting .326, the best batting average on this team. .30 hits as well coming into this game. And he swings through, though, 2-1. That breaking ball just dropped before the plate by Nabholz. Great pitch. His fellow Towson Tiger teammate and former Woodchuck Ethan Pecco, drafted in the 6th round by the Houston Astros this year. It was a pleasure calling that guy pitch. He made it look effortless. Ewell down the right field line. The hit and run was in play there. Two again. Nabholz checks over to Cooper Kelly at first base, but Jimenez can't put the tag down in time. Jimenez, a second half guy for the Woodchucks. Nabholz and Ewell, it's the third base. Great play by Brent Witter. 5-4-3 double play. Oh no, they're saying Brendan Holt was off the bag at second base.
Third baseman, number 13, Jason Jones.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So they're saying Brendan Holt was off the bag at second, so it wasn't a double play. Instead, it's only Kendall Ewell out at first. So I guess that goes down as a fielder's choice then. Well, Cooper Kelly's at second base now, as Jason Jones, the home run hitter, is up for the second time. And Nabholz disengagement.
Your project or location, Sunbelt Rentals is here to serve you. With locations all across North America and hardworking people to guide you, they have what you need to finish the job.
1-0. Jones takes low outside fastball. Jones hit his 4th home run of the season in his first at bat. In the first, he sent it over the shallow right field wall in right center. A push home run by Jones. And the curveball drops in there for strike one. Jason Jones now with 28 hits on the season and 4 home runs, as well as 28 RBIs. Or 18 RBIs, rather. Nabholz misses outside with the fastball. 3-1 count. Twelfth of 12 times these two will play each other this season. It's 6-5 in favor of the Woodchucks coming into today. Jones on the ground. It's a soft roller to Nabholz, and the only play will be to first base for out number 2. Cooper Kelly advances to third, but Jones is put out for the first time.
It's time once again for the Pepsi Power Hitter. If this next batter gets a hit, you get half-price fountain drinks through the middle of next inning. He is rocker catcher number 31, Carlos Hernandez.
And now that brings up the all-star Carlos Hernandez, the native Venezuelan from Anderson University. Takes the first pitch breaking ball by Nabholz. That spiking curve from Nate. Hernandez was the first out that Nabholz picked up. That was a 6-3 ground out in the first inning. And Nate looks to get out of the inning without allowing a run, as the fastball is in there for strike one to Hernandez, who is now playing in his 42nd game as a Green Bay Rocker. Came in batting .314 with 48 hits, 6 doubles, 4 home runs, 24 RBIs, 14 walks, and 30 runs scored. As Nabholz misses with the 1-1, it's now 2-1. One of the few all-stars on this Green Bay Rocker team. Himself, JoJo Jackson, Brett Sanchez, Tyler Horvath, all all-stars for Green Bay. And Hernandez fouls off the off-speed. 2-2. Nabholz, Hernandez hits one. It's a fly ball into right center. And making the grab will be Dalton Pearson. And that is out. Number 3 here in the second. The Woodchucks get out of it. And the Rockers put up a 0. It's 3-2, though. Green Bay leads it into the third here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
We're into the top of the third inning as Jacob Liberta will be into his first full inning of work after coming in following 1 2/3 by Grayson Walker. And leading off for the Woodchucks will be Brent Witter here in the third, the Evansville ace, for the second time. He is still without a recorded at bat as he was walked in his first appearance, and that came against Grayson Walker, one of 4 walks that Walker threw. 1-0 to Witter, and Witter is a little early on the changeup. 1-1. Witter has not had a hit since Wednesday in Game 2 against Fond du Lac, where at that point it was 11 hits in only 5 games played for Witter. Actually, 11 hits in 4 games for Witter at that point. And he's down 1-2 now. Liberta outside on the fastball, 2-2. The University of Hawaii Ed Hilo product, Jacob Liberta. The last time against the Woodchucks went 1 full inning, allowing 5 hits and letting up 6 runs all earned. And that was in the 18-7 loss for the Rockers. Witter waits on the curveball, but fouls it off.
The Green Bay Rockers would like to thank Herberts and Gerbers for feeding the teams before today's game.
2-2. Once again, Witter takes it low and outside on the fastball. Full count. And a payoff pitch coming to Witter. Liberta, and Witter puts it on the ground. It's to Cooper Kelly at shortstop. And he makes the throw inside to Matthews. Witter is out number 1 here in the third.
Next batter for the Woodchucks, first baseman number 13.
So now coming to the plate is Andrew Jimenez, who was walked in his first at-bat. His Northwoods League debut. And now he's facing off against Liberta. He's late on the fastball. Jimenez, Northwoods League debut in this game, and he fouls off the 0-1, now 0-2 against Liberta. A lot of Northwoods League experience to pretty much none, besides 1 at-bat now for Jimenez, as Liberta looks for out number 2 here in the third, and the 0-2 to Jimenez. And it's low on the off-speed. Jimenez, like mentioned, 4 hits and 9 at-bats this past season with the UW Milwaukee Panthers. All hits being singles for Jimenez. Right-handed batter from South Elgin, Illinois. And he swings and misses through the elevated fastball. That's 2 up, 2 down here in the third.
The press ties from the official newspaper of your Green Bay Rockers. Always local, daily online, and weekly in print at gopresstimes.com. The batter for Wausau is right fielder number 30, Jake Baker.
So Jake Baker comes to the plate, and he was struck out by Grayson Walker in his first at-bat to leave bases loaded stranded in the first. He takes first pitch curveball for strike 1. In a lefty-lefty matchup, the Kansas Jayhawk playing right field tonight. Baker, who's now playing in his 21st game as a Woodchuck, starting his 20th. And he lays off the breaking ball for ball 1. Came in batting .230 on the season, 14 hits, 1 double, 1 home run. Has driven in 6 runs, scored 11, and has been walked 16 times. And he was 1 for 4 his last time out against the Lakeshore Chinooks. He hit a single in the 9th, which started the 3-run inning that Wausau would end up walking off the Lakeshore Chinooks. And he scored the first run of 3 in the inning as well. He's reached base in 17 games of 19 played in, at least when he's made plate appearances. And he takes the 2-1 low, 3-1 count as Baker looks to keep the inning alive for Wausau. Liberta, of course, looking to do the opposite. 3-1 to Baker. Liberta and Baker down the right field line. It goes foul on the pole. Absolutely perfect day for baseball here in Ashwaubenon. You couldn't ask for any better weather. Mid-70s, the sun is out, and it feels just right, and there's a slight breeze. Absolutely perfect day for baseball. I don't think it gets any better than the weather today here in Schwabenheim, Wisconsin. Baker swings at the full count, and it's picked up by Harris at second base, who makes the out to Mateo Matthews. That is a 1-2-3 inning for Liberta here in the third, and that does it. Woodchucks still trail at 3-2 as the Rockers back up to bat when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. He went scoreless in his last frame. As he will be looking to keep the Rockers in front by only a run into the fourth. And he's facing off first against JoJo Jackson here in the inning. Bottom of the third here at Capital Credit Union Park in Schwabenheim. Will Charlton with you here today on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Naples missing low and outside to JoJo Jackson. Naples' longest outing of the season was 7 innings, or he's had 2 different 7-inning outings, one being against these Green Bay Rockers, as Jackson swings through Naples' off-speed pitch. And Naples picked up a no decision in that game against the Rockers. The Woodchucks lost that one 6-4, but he went 7 full innings, only allowing 7 hits, striking out 7, and only allowing 2 runs both earned. And like mentioned last time against the Rockers, he went 4 2/3, picking up the win. His one of 3 wins so far, 2 being against Lakeshore, and then that one being against Green Bay. His only loss being to the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors. JoJo Jackson swings and misses, and that is strikeout number 3 for Naples. This one starts off the third. That's a hard person to strike out, too. JoJo Jackson this season has only been struck out 32 times in 40 games. So certainly someone who is not easy to strike out, the Georgia State Panther from Stone Mountain, Georgia. JoJo Jackson, which brings up the Wagner College man from Chino, California, Mateo Matthews for the second time. Matthews, one of 3 strikeouts so far for Naples as well. One 0, and Matthews swings through it, fouls it off. Strike 1. 1-1 count between the right-hander from Towson and the left-handed batter, 6'5", first baseman from Wagner College. 1-1. Matthews takes it outside. Matthews this season in 38 games played came in batting .286 with 34 hits, 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. Or 3 home runs, rather. 20 RBIs, 15 walks, and 10 scored runs. And he swings through the 2-1. Naples looking to settle in a little bit after allowing those 3 runs off 5 hits in the first. Now has allowed 6 hits. And like mentioned, he does allow hits because he makes you swing at his pitches. He does not miss the strike zone very often. 2-2. Matthews puts it on the ground. It's to Jimenez at first. And covering the bag is Naples. That's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. As Naples looks for his first 1-2-3 inning, he'll be facing off against A.J. Anzai. Anzai singled in his last at bat. Picked up his 16th hit.
Next batter, designated hitter, number 8, A.J. Anzai.
A mix of an infielder and a pitcher, A.J. Anzai. He's had 7 appearances on the pitching mound as well for Green Bay. Not used as often as other arms in the bullpen, but he's also a guy who comes out of the pen for the Rockers. Naples goes outside fastball on the 1-0. So now he's down a couple of balls to Anzai. Two-0 from Naples. Anzai fouls off the elevated fastball. 2-1. Naples. Anzai swings through it again. 2-2. One more strike gets the Woodchucks into the fourth to hit again. As Naples looks for his first 1-2-3 of the game. The 2-2 to Anzai. It's a low fastball in the turf. And now it's a full count. Payoff pitch to Anzai. It's on the ground. It's to Brennan Holt at second base. He plays it on a hop. Good play by Holt. And that is a ground out. 4-3 does it. And that ends the third 1-2-3 inning for both sides. As now we're into the fourth. And it's 3-2 Rockers here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. It's time for the top of the fourth inning. As the Woodchucks still thrill it 3-2, the first zeros across the board inning for either side. And there was only 6 batters faced between the two teams. As it was Liberta going 1-2-3 against the Woodchucks, and then Nabholz going 1-2-3 against the Rockers. And now Jake English leads off the fourth. The catcher from the University of Kansas, Jake English, facing off against Jacob Liberta. 1-0 between the lefty and the righty batting Jake English. English coming into his 19th game played, an 18th game started with the Woodchucks batting .281, or at least that was what it was before he flew out to center in his first at-bat. 18 hits, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, 15 walks, 14 runs scored, has 1 stolen base, and has a slugging percentage of .453 and on base percentage of .418. He is early to the breaking ball by Liberta, and it's a 1-2 count. English looks to be the first base runner against Liberta. In 1 1/3 so far, he has retired all 4 batters faced, including a couple of strikeouts. It's weird. He's been a pitcher that is either on against the Woodchucks or isn't. If you go back to an outing 2 times ago against the Woodchucks, he went 3 full, only allowing 1 hit, nothing else, and only 10 batters faced. But then you go back to the outing the next time against Wausau, he got rocked on. So I'm not really too sure. He's either on or off against the Woodchucks. It's odd. Payoff pitch to English, and English into center field. Back goes Ewell, and he makes the grab. He's flown out there twice now.
If this next batter strikes out, you get half-price tap beer until the end of the inning. He is second baseman number 6, Brennan Holt. Fans, get out if you want to score some half-price tap beer this afternoon.
So now Brennan Holt comes to the plate. And the first pitch, curveball from Liberta in there. And a lefty-to-lefty matchup. He's today's beer batter here in Green Bay. And they really try to milk it. They announce a strike every time a strike is thrown, as that one just misses. So 1-1. Liberta to Holt. And Holt, I think that hit his leg. Did it? It did. That hit the leg of Brennan Holt. And he will be the first base runner here in the inning. He was the second batter in the second and reached on a walk. And now he's reached on a hit by pitch. So he's still without a recorded at bat so far. Still 0 for 0 as that brings up the top of the order and Dalton Pearson. Pearson is already 1 for 1 and has been on base twice, and he just joined the 50 hit club in the Northwoods League, a league or a club of only 4 batters now with Pearson in it. He takes first pitch fastball from Liberta, and Brennan Holt is the first base runner that Liberta has allowed. Woodchucks only have 2 hits so far, but 2 runs as well. Holt, who was stealing second base before Pearson had his single in the second. And he's doing it again here. Hit and run is on. And Pearson fouled it off.
Fans, the Green Bay Rockers would like to wish Maya a very happy 16th birthday. And we'd like to wish you luck on your upcoming driver's test.
So now 0-2 between Pearson and Liberta. Pearson, it is into center field, and he has a second hit. 17th multi-hit game of the season. That's now hit number 51 for Pearson, who came in to today being 4th overall in the league in hits at 49, now at 51. And runners at first and second, only one out, as the tying run in scoring position for the Woodchucks with Brennan Holt, as Jesse Donahoe comes to the plate for a third time, and he is 1 for 2. He singled back in the first and then flew out in the 7th, or flew out to left field, which is position 7 in baseball, obviously. But Dalton Pearson now joining Travis Strickler, Parker Brocious, and Joshua Duarte in the Northwoods League as members of the 50 Hit Club. Travis Strickler, obviously a very familiar name. He's on the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. 0-1 to Donahoe, lefty-lefty matchup. And Donahoe rips it down the right field line. It's fair. Going home is Brendan Holt. Pearson's being held up at third, and that is an RBI single for Jesse Donahoe. We're tied at 3. Second hit of the game for the Georgia State Panther. And that puts runners on the corners with only one out. And now with the leading run only 90 feet away, Mark Schallenberger comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Jesse Donahoe now this season inching closer to the 50 hit club as well. He has 47. As that one gets into center field, an error throw by Carlos Hernandez. And an error brings home Dalton Pearson. Woodchucks up 4-3. And the Woodchucks bullpen now doing the line dance every time they score a run. The bonding that goes on between those pitchers is hilarious to watch. As Jesse Donahoe was stealing second, and it was a bad throw by Hernandez. So the second error of the game for the Rockers has the Woodchucks now up 4-3. And Liberta first pitch to Schallenberger is low for ball 1. 2-0 between Schallenberger and Liberta. Lefty-lefty matchup with the 5th run of the game at second base in Donahoe. And that one in the dirt. Schallenberger now up 3-0 on the count, and Donahoe thought about maybe trying to go to third after the ball got away from Hernandez behind the plate, but instead he stayed right where he was at. And it's a 3-0 count now, as Schallenberger looking to reach base for the second time. And they're going to just send Schallenberger to first base. They'll just give him the 4th ball. Chris Krepleen just giving him the intentional walk, as it looks like Green Bay is going to make a pitching change. Liberta looks like he's done after 1 2/3. So Schallenberger on base for the second time with walk, and that puts runners at first and second for the new pitcher, who will introduce for Green Bay when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Daniel Barrera, the right-hander from Wagner College, comes into the game for the Green Bay Rockers from Laverne, California. Comes in after 1 2/3 innings of work for Jacob Liberta, who allowed 2 runs off 2 hits. Struck out 2 and walked 1, as Colin Brigham is the first batter being faced off for Barrera. The right-hander, 6 foot 207. And he inherits 2 base runners, as Brigham did not come through the check swing, according to third base umpire Caleb Cador. And it looked pretty close from my angle. I have a pretty good angle being able to tell if a hitter comes through on a check swing or not here at a Capital Credit Union Park. And I don't think he did, but it was very close. So now 2-0 to Brigham. And now it's 3-0. There's already an arm warming up for Green Bay in the bullpen. So they're going through pitchers so far already. The third pitcher of the game. We're only in the top of the 4th inning. Not trusting their arm so far, as that's a 4-pitch walk to Brigham, and the bases are loaded. Only 1 out here in the 4th. So that brings up Brent Witter with bases loaded. And Witter, who has not had a hit since Wednesday, can come through for the Woodchucks here. Witter takes first pitch inside fastball. Barrera has not thrown a strike yet in his what appears to be his first appearance of the summer, and it is indeed his first appearance of the summer. Has not appeared yet for the Rockers, making his Rocker debut this summer, Barrera. And he still has not thrown a strike. It's 2-0 now to Brent Witter. Woodchucks 2 balls away from a 5-3 lead. And there's finally the first pitch. Strike thrown by Barrera. 2-1 count to Witter now, and with a 2-1, you probably have the green light and bases loaded. Witter takes an off-speed for strike 2. That clipped the inside part of the strike zone. Yeah, I'm with Brock Moss. I do not think that was a strike, but the only opinion that matters is Brandon Smith's, even though I don't think it was the right one. So now 2-2 to Witter. And Witter down the right field line! That's going to be extra bases. Donahoe's home. Schellenberger's coming home. Brigham being sent home as well. Bases clearing double for Brent Witter. And the Woodchucks lead it 7-3. The 7th double of the season for Brent Witter comes at a big time, and the Woodchucks are up by 4. Brent Witter's family loves it. Now a 5 spot put up here in the 4th by the Woodchucks. And Witter, who just put up his first hit since his 5-hit performance on Wednesday, has given the Woodchucks a 7-3 lead. And now it is Jimenez up for a 3rd time, and he is 0 for 1 with a walk. Brent Witter now with 34 hits on the season and 7 doubles. And he puts the Woodchucks in the driver's seat looking for a 5th straight win and a season series win over Green Bay 7-5. Staying in the hunt for what is now the second half crown after Green Bay already the first playoff team in the Great Lakes West. And Jimenez is struck out for a 2nd time in the game. First out picked up by the right-hander from Wagner College, Barrera. That brings up Jake Baker with Brent Witter still in scoring position. Witter also RBIs 13, 14, and 15 this season. And like mentioned, his 34th hit being at a big time. being at a big time. As Barrera calls timeout to go chat with Carlos Hernandez before Jake Baker will take a swing of the bat. As Jake Baker 0 for 2 in the game, up for the third time. The right fielder. Righty-lefty matchup between himself and Barrera. Brent Witter still in scoring position, and Baker takes first pitch low fastball. Ball 1. One 0, and Baker a little early to it. Swings through the fastball for strike 1. Baker looking for his first on-base appearance to keep the inning alive here in the fourth. Already the 5-run inning for the Woodchucks. Brock Moss felt a more comfortable game was in the works for Wausau. And Baker early on the off-speed. 1-2. One, 2 from Barrera to Jake Baker. And it's in the dirt. Witter thought about going to third because of how close the backstop is to home plate. Anywhere else, Witter's off the third, but it's really close to Hernandez, and it wouldn't have been worth it, especially with 2 outs in the inning. Baker 2-2. As he looks to keep the offense rolling here for Wausau. Barrera, the pitch, and Baker hits one into shallow center, and it is off the ground. It dropped. The ball dropped. Baker's off to second. And that's an RBI double for Jake Baker. Brent Witter is safe at home. It's 8-3 Wausau. And now every batter has hit the inning for the Woodchucks as Jake English is batting for the second time in the inning. Eight to 3 Woodchucks. And now, once again, the winning team today will for sure have 6 or more runs. As Barrera misses low on the first pitch fastball to Jake English. One 0. And there's a fastball that clips the low outside corner. English 0 for 2, a couple of flyouts to Kendall Ewell in center field. Woodchucks now with 6 hits. They have 4 in the inning and have scored 6 runs off those 4 hits. 3 thanks to Brent Witter's bases clearing double. English puts one on the ground. Cooper Kelly at shortstop fields it and makes the play to Mateo Matthews. But the Woodchucks put up 6 here in the fourth and lead it 8-3 into the bottom half of the fourth. The Woodchucks just put up a big spot and are now in the driver's seat today here in Ashwaubenon. They're looking for win number 7 against Green Bay this season, and they'll be back on in defense when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Bottom of the fourth here from Ashwaubenon at Capital Credit Union Park as the Woodchucks are looking to win the season series here on the road and against the Green Bay Rockers. After last night's 4-3 win, they're up 8-3 here in the bottom of the fourth as Nate Nabholz into inning number 4 of work. And he's facing off against Jack Holman to lead off the inning. Jack Holman is 1 for 1. He singled in his first at bat in the first. And he swings through the 0-1. Nabholz, obviously, him especially, is more comfortable as a pitcher and as a strike thrower with a lead. He picked up the win on Monday against Green Bay, and he's looking forward again today now. 0-2 to Holman, and Holman on a line into center field, and Pearson stops it, so Holman will be on with his second single, but because of the well-played ball by Pearson on the angle, Holman only is able to get to first base, and he hit it at this part of Capital Credit Union Park where if it gets past Pearson, he could be off to third. So it was a fantastic play in the outfield by Pearson, knowing he probably wouldn't be able to catch it. Holman now 2 for 2. That's the 7th hit allowed by Nabholz. But like mentioned, he makes hitters hit his pitches. His command of the strike zone is so impressive. But if you do get a hold of it, you might find yourself on base. A lot of strikeouts this season for Nabholz, but has also allowed a lot of hits. And now he's facing off against Andrew Harris, who is one of 3 strikeouts for Nabholz so far. And Harris already up 2-0 on the count, the UW Parkside product, making his return to Green Bay after they just lost Blake Wilson for the summer due to injury. 2-0. And Harris, a soft pop fly into left field, and it's dropping. Mark Schallenberger is there to grab it, though, before trying to get the third is Holman. So that puts runners on first and second after back-to-back singles. And that is Andrew Harris's 8th hit as a Rocker this summer. And that brings up Cooper Kelly. So a couple of singles has started off the inning for the Rockers, as Nabholz now facing off against Kelly for the second time. He's also 1 for 1. He thought about putting a bunt down, but pulled it back. Not too sure why, though. That was a fastball right down the middle by Nabholz. The Rockers now trailing by 5 runs, looking to respond. But Nabholz looking to make sure the Woodchucks stay in front. This is on the ground. It could be 2. And Holt will just make the play at first. No, he won't. He misplays the ball. First error put on the board for the Woodchucks, and that loads the bases. Forced at every bag now with no outs. As the Rockers looking to respond. And Ross Davis is going out there to talk with Nate Nabholz before Kendall Ewell, the leadoff man, is up to bat for a third time.
center fielder number 6, Kendall Yule.
That's Kendall Yule now at the bat. And he hits one on line to center field. That's going to score a couple for Green Bay. 2 RBI single for Kendall Yule. And it's 8-5. High scoring affair so far today.
Next batter, Rocker third baseman number 13, Jason Jones.
Holman and Harris both scoring there as Jason Jones to the plate. And he hits one down the right field line, and it's going foul, and is not caught by Jake Baker. It just went foul. And I mean just went foul. Getting loose in the pen for the Woodchucks is Alex Wallace. As Nabholz 0-1 to Jason Jones with no out still. And the high fastball for ball 1. Runners still on first and second in Cooper Kelly and Kendall Yule. 3 hits already in the inning for the Rockers. And then Cooper Kelly reached on air. Jason Jones swings and misses through the off-speed by Nabholz. As Nate looks for out number 1 here in the 4th. 8 runs combined so far in the inning between both sides, as Green Bay has lessened the gap to a 3-run lead for Wausau. 1-2. This is on the ground, and it's stopped by Holt. They make the put out at second for out number 1. But Jason Jones, are they going to call that? They're going to call that a fielder's choice, so it won't be a hit for Jones. It's a fielder's choice. As Kendall Yule put out at second base on the 4-6. That's out number 1 here in the 4th. But that puts runners on the corners with only 1 out. As Carlos Hernandez is up for the 3rd time. He has been retired twice so far by Nabholz, and Nate goes high with the fastball. One-0 from Nabholz. With the tying run at the plate, and Hernandez. Off speed is low. Two-0 to Hernandez. Jason Jones is off to second, and the throw will be not in time, and that brings home the 4th run. He looked out at second base, in my opinion, as Brock Moss has come out to argue it. I'm with Brock. I think he was out at second as well. Jake English, it looked like the throw was in time. Brock Moss still arguing the call at second base. So it's a double steal. The double play ball out of effect, and it's now 8-6. 3 runs here in the 4th for the Rockers. And the at-bat with Hernandez will resume. Nabholz. And that's strike 2. 2-2 count now to Carlos Hernandez. As Nate looks for out number 2 here in the inning. And we'll try to keep the Woodchucks ahead into the 5th inning. Hernandez hits a blooper, and it's caught on a line by Brennan Holt. That's out number 2, which keeps Jason Jones at second base. Jason Jones, 10th stolen base of the season, and Cooper Kelly just stole his 10th. Or stole his 14th, rather. So 14th stolen base for Cooper Kelly. That's why errors hurt you. Reaching on error was Cooper Kelly. So that run won't be earned in Nabholes. So he'll have 6 runs and 5 earned so far as JoJo Jackson comes to the plate looking to avoid being out number 3. He's 1 for 2 so far. And he's up for the second time in the same amount of innings. Nabholes, 0-1. Jones is up to third. English, it's a good throw, and he is out at third. They made that call correctly. So JoJo Jackson will be the leadoff man in the 5th. And the Woodchucks lead it 8-6. We have an exciting game here today. High scoring affair between these two. We'll be back for the 5th on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch. Or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
And we're back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Top of the 5th, the Wausau Woodchucks lead it 8-6 over the Green Bay Wreckers. 14 total runs, has doubled the amount of runs scored so far in yesterday's game. As Brennan Holt leads off the inning against new pitcher for Green Bay, Bryce Crabb. 0-1 to Holt. Inside fastball from the right-hander from the University of Northwestern St. Paul. The 6'3", 180 right-hander from Des Moines, Iowa. as he misses low to Brennan Holt once again. Crabb coming in for the 6th time as a rocker. He has 8 2/3 innings of work, a 10.38 ERA, an opposing batting average of 415, and a whip of 2.31. 2-1 to Holt. Holt on the ground. It's Mateo Matthews at first base, and he'll do the work himself, as Brennan Holt is retired for the first time of the game. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Dalton Pearson for the 4th time already. Pearson 2 for 2. With a stolen base and 2 runs and a walk. Can he keep the perfect game going so far? As Dalton Pearson, it's now 2-0 count between himself and Bryce Crabb, and I'm being joined by Woodchucks pitcher Brian Ranke on the call now. Brian, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Will.
Absolutely, and it's been a pretty fun one so far, obviously.
Definitely.
Pearson, it's a fly ball here, but left-hander Richmond Spider, Brian Ranke joining me on the call now. Fellow lefty like myself when I was playing back in my day. Obviously not as successful baseball-wise as you are, but, you know, not many people like to hate on lefties, so got to shout him out. It's Pearson, 3rd single already.
Let's go. He's on fire.
That's in the left field. 3 for 3, and we're only in the 5th inning. Well, Brian, I saw you guys doing some line dancing down there in the bullpen, so you guys must be having some fun so far today.
I mean, it's summer ball, so you kind of have to have fun, especially in the pen on your off day. You're down, you know, you're not throwing that day. It's good to just hang out with the guys, enjoy scoring a couple runs, especially the 4th there. I think we did it about 3 times. Yeah, it's all good. It's always a fun time in the pen.
6-run frame. I mean, the Woodchucks just find ways to put up high numbers in innings sometimes. It's kind of crazy.
I totally agree. Yeah, I think we just take advantage of pitchers that aren't commanding the zone just as well, and then we just kind of we've been lately getting timely hits, which is kind of been why we're on this little heated that we got going.
Well, if we can win this one today, it'll be 5 straight.
Exactly, yeah.
And 6 straight losses for Green Bay.
That's crazy. After winning the first half, that's crazy to see that they're
isn't it?
Last place right now.
That's just the way that it goes sometimes, though, as you know better than anybody with baseball. It's just one of those sports that momentum is probably the biggest indicator of how a team will do. 100%. As now it's Jesse Donahoe's up once again. 2 hits already for Donahoe today. Pearson is off to second base as Donahoe deep into center field, and it is not caught by Ewell. Went over the head. That ball was crushed.
I've never seen a ball get out of the field in any capacity to center field here.
I mean, down there in center field, that's got to be 400 maybe.
At least.
Donahoe destroyed that. I mean, you have to assume it's a home run at Athletic Park.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I know we have the high wall in center, but still, I think that's gone anywhere else, minus here.
Both Georgia State boys now with 3 hits today.
They've been really impressive, really all summer. I mean, they're both all-stars. They've both been swinging it really well all summer. I know Jesse came in here, hit 2 home runs his first week, kind of set the tone for summer. Lately, he's just been following that up. And DP's just been consistent, hitting the ball, hitting homers, stealing bags, just kind of doing what he does.
And obviously, there's a reason they're both all-stars.
Yeah, for sure.
As Mark Schallenberg, a guy who would be an all-star himself if he hadn't gotten here for the second half, is up to the plate once again.
Yeah, he's doing something ridiculous. I mean, there's a typo on the board for a batting average for one of our players earlier, and his also looks like a typo, but it's not. He's actually hitting 450.
It's crazy.
On base percentage is through the roof. Hit 3 home runs in I think 11 games it was. But yeah, he's absolutely crushing the ball. I was talking to one of our guys, Drew Berkman, about him yesterday, and he was just talking about how he's so simple. He always gets his best swing off every single at bat, no matter the situation, no matter what pitch, and he's a presence in the box, and every pitcher just doesn't really know how to pitch him. It never seems overpowered.
Yeah, I asked him yesterday in the interview, so it looks like you're having fun your second summer in the Northwoods. He's like, oh yeah, it's a blast. Yeah. Seeing the ball really well, and I guess when you play in the Cape for a while, he just took a 5-pitch walk, and that now loads the bases for Wausau once again today. Only one out still here in the 5th. But what he's been doing right now is crazy. I mean, looking at his stats, like you mentioned, 875 slugging coming into today and 560 on base. He's on a heater.
So you flip a coin, he's on base.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And he's now on base today for the third time. He's been walked twice and was hit by a pitch. So his on-base percentage continues to increase as Brigham comes to the plate with bases loaded. It kind of felt like one of these higher scoring games was coming for us because it's been just a bit closer, not comfortable wins, I would say, the past three.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, you can kind of tell, especially when you get to these end of the weeks, like these Sunday and Monday games. Sunday is a quick turnaround, obviously, from last night's game. You got to drive back out here. So usually guys on the mound aren't as sharp, so I feel like they tend to give up more runs than normal. I mean, Nate has been great for us all summer. He had a more rough outing today, but other than that, he's really going to be fine. He's going to bounce back, and he's going to be all good for us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had the third lowest ERA in the entire league coming into today as Brigham takes another ball outside. 2-1 count now between him and Bryce Crabb. And now I'm sure you did a little bit of hitting in your day. What do you think Brigham's looking for right here on 2-1?
See, 2-1 or 1-1?
Pretty sure it's 2-1. I just don't think they updated the scoreboard. Yeah, they put the 2-1 up there late.
There we go. All right.
So now it's 3-1, but...
So, yeah, I used to hit in high school a little bit. It's very different than what we
Were you
got
good?
going. I was good for my high school. I went to a very small high school then. But other than that, I don't think I'd hit very well in the Northwoods. I like being on the mound. But I'd say 2-2. I'd say he's trying to see a fastball. I mean, this guy hasn't had a ton of control. Change up there.
Wow. Oh, Brigham goes down swinging. That's out number 2 here in the inning. Well, last time Brent Witter had this situation, he cleared the bases, so let's see if he can do it again.
That would be awesome. I would really like to see him do that.
Already with 3 RBIs on the game after that bases clearing double in just the last inning. Highlight of the 6th spot. You were saying?
And a fellow, not fellow, but a second seasoned Woodchuck as well.
Oh, yeah. The King of Wausau to you guys.
Yes,
Is that what the nickname is?
I believe so, yeah. He is the King of Wausau, especially at home. He loves the home crowd. He's from around here.
Oh, yeah.
He just loves it.
Witter fouls off the off speed. He's down 0-2. Could be a rough spot, but Witter, if anyone, definitely is a guy who has confidence no matter what the count is. See if he can deliver once again for the Woodchucks. And Bryce Crabb gets him on the punch out. That one's on the outside half of the strike zone. 3 pitches. It's a strikeout, and the Woodchucks leave bases loaded, stranded. But we will be back for the bottom of the 5th when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
It's going to be JoJo Jackson leading off the 5th inning for the Green Bay Rockers as Alex Wallace, the recent high school graduate from Rancho Santa Margarita, California, on the mound for the 3rd time as a Woodchuck this summer now. And Brian, pretty solid outing from Nate on the mound, but you know, sometimes, like you said, quick turnarounds can just kind of get to you. As Wallace sets a first pitch and it's swung at into center field by Jackson, his second single. That's why it's kind of a good thing he was not able to finish his at bat in the last inning because he is a dangerous batter.
100%, yeah. I mean, as he's a Georgia State kid, we have a few of those on our team, so we've always talked to him throughout the many games we play these guys. But he's a good kid, but he just always seems to find a way to get on, cause havoc on the base paths, steal bags, etc.
Obviously,
Well,
no.
I have a question for you. What do you have on these uniforms we got here? They have a guitar neck going down the leg, going up into the jersey. I just want to ask like your opinion on that.
I actually kind of think they're kind of nice in my opinion. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a unique design, and it's definitely a acquired taste. But I kind of dig it. It definitely fits the Rockers well, I'd say.
100%.
But you know, can't beat ours.
Definitely not. Yeah. I like personally, I like our blue jerseys the best, but the gray on gray is also a good combination we have, especially with the blue little Woodchuck hat.
The home whites you can never beat either. Those are awesome. Alex Wallace throws the 1-1 to Matthews, fouls it off. 1-2 now. Matthews 0 for 2 in the game. And Brian, this is a team you faced in your last start. So what did you see out of their hitting that was kind of unique about them as opposed to other teams?
So it was weird because I didn't first face them in the first half, but they were known to be a team that really swung it well in the first half. The second, when I faced them, I'd say they were just really. A lot of their hitters worked really good counts. They definitely liked to swing, so that was definitely advantageous for me, especially when I got ahead in the count. But other than that, though, they usually work the pitch. They get their pitch the most of the time. They like to foul off a lot too, like we see there.
Yeah, Mateo Matthews fouls off the 2-2, but they are a very aggressive hitting team. Probably one of the more, I guess you would say, powerful lineups that we see in the season.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Yeah, like when they announce their players, you always see that they have a bunch of Power 5 guys, and I'd say that they lived up to that in the first half.
Matthews towering fly ball into shallow center field. Dalton Pearson calls off everyone. A field general out there in center field. You can really say that about him. He kind of really is a field general with how well he plays that center field position.
Oh, 100%. It's so funny. I think my dad would say that people like to kick their feet up, and the right and left fielders can kick their feet up when Dalton's in center, and he can just kind of take over.
He ran all the way up from his center field spot, which he's playing pretty deep here because he's kind of have to in center field, especially because hitters either try to aim it toward the gap in left center because that could be a triple if you hit it there, or they try to get over the 290-foot right field wall. AJ Anzai, this is a soft ground ball in the infield, and Witter will not make the play in time. That's just one of those unfortunate bounces right there.
Yeah, those are so tough, especially on turf. Ball spinning like that, it's like a cue ball. It starts kicking back towards the line. Witter's coming in, has to make a perfect play. Makes a play, but first base comes off the bag. It's how it goes.
It's the second hit for AJ Anzai of the game. And that puts runners at first and second here in the 5th as the leading run comes to the plate for the Rockers and Jack Holman with one out against Alex Wallace, who, like mentioned, making his 3rd appearance, 1-0 record, 2.45 ERA, 1.64 walks and hits per innings pitched rate. Has gone 3 2/3, walked 1, struck out 3, allowed 5 hits coming in and 1 run coming in. As Wallace, it's a 1-0 to Jack Holman, who already has 2 hits in the game as well. And he'll check it back to second base. No one was covering the bag, though. What's it like when you're a pitcher and you're trying to hold someone on the base, but there's no one on the bag?
I mean, it's obviously terrifying because you spin around and you see that there's nobody there, but then you just have to locate usually you declare before the at-bat starts, but usually you have to locate your shortstop or your second baseman, whoever's covering the bag, and just get it to them in any way possible.
That could have been like maybe a pitch-out kind of throw.
Yeah, I don't know. First and second, 1-0 count. I bet Alex is trying to throw a strike there, but sometimes just getting on a slide step, trying to be quicker towards home, your arm ends up being a little bit late, and then sometimes you miss out up an arm side like he did right there.
2-0, and Holman fouls it off over the grandstand here. It's kind of hard to think this is already the last time we're playing Green Bay and the last time we're coming here, as we haven't even played other teams in the second half yet.
That is crazy. See, I remember in the first half, we were always at, it seemed like Wisconsin Rapids, the Raptors there.
Yep.
I feel like we never left that stadium. Got him. Get him. Yeah, boy.
And he is
Boy,
picked
Alex.
off at second base. JoJo Jackson got a big lead, and Alex Wallace caught him. That's out number 2, and that gets out the runner who's in scoring position. That is something you love to see. That's got to be such a good feeling for a pitcher when you throw out a pickoff.
Oh yeah, whenever you pick off somebody, it just makes your life a little bit easier. Gives you a little bit extra momentum, even if you're not feeling the best. But it definitely gives you that edge up.
So now it only leaves one runner on, and he's at first base. So do you ever worry about the runner at first base with 2 outs?
See, like yes and no, right? Because
oh boy, that's in a deep center field by Holman, and he has tied the ball game. I guess that's where you do worry about the runner on first base.
Exactly right.
Well, at least they picked off Jackson.
Yeah, right. See, that's when you go back and you see that it's really fortunate that we did get to pick him off, because then instead of they're winning the game, now we are tied.
8-8 now, as the Rockers have scored 5 unanswered since the Woodchucks put up 6 in the fourth. This is a high-scoring game today. Thankfully, it's a day game, so it's not like we're really rushing to get out of here. But Andrew Harris puts up his second hit of the game. It's an opposite field shot to left field. They have 13 hits now, right? That's crazy.
That is crazy. For a combined 21 hits in the day and 16 runs, that's why we're about an hour and 40 minutes. Oh, no, 2 hours and 5 minutes in this game. I was used to the 1:30 or 6:30 start. Well, that's why we're about 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever, 2 hours into this game. And we are in the fifth inning, excuse me.
3 spot in the fourth, 2 spot in the fifth here for Green Bay, as Alex Wallace looking to try and get out of the inning. It looks like Pichatello's warming up now in the pen a little bit, getting loose. But Brian, you're starting Tuesday against Battle Creek in one of the doubleheaders, so that's a pretty hot team right now in the Northwoods League.
Yeah, I've noticed. I checked the other day, just checked the standings. I saw that they are leading, and they're, I believe, 8-5 last time I checked. But yeah, they look good. They've made a big jump since the first half, so I'm excited to get to face off against them as they come over and play a doubleheader. I know it's going to be 2-7, so hopefully I can go deep into the game, give us a chance to win.
What was your longest outing you had this past year at Richmond?
It was 4 innings. It was actually the last conference weekend against Davidson College.
Okay.
Yep.
8-10 tournament?
No, not the tournament. I was actually going to start the next game, but we actually lost in the tournament, so I didn't get to start. But my longest outing was 4 innings the previous weekend.
Gotcha.
Yep.
2-2 between Wallace and Kelly, and it's an elevated fastball that just misses. Wallace can't keep his hat on ever.
No, I've noticed that. I think he either needs a smaller one or we'll staple it to his head, but I'm not really sure what else we can do to keep it on. I know he's got a lot of hair. Looks good from here, to be honest. A little flow.
Outside and away. And that is a walk that keeps the inning going, as that brings up the top of the order with the leading run at second base now for Green Bay. Last night's game obviously a lot faster than this one so far.
Yeah, even with the rain delay, it was definitely quicker.
Right.
Good to see English take control here, going down to kind of calm the young guy down. Alex got a lot of potential, but he is young, so he's more inexperienced with these college hitters. But realistically, though, he's going to be really good when he gets going and he gets a lot more experience.
Well, the fact that he's playing in the Northwoods League as a recent high school graduate shows how much he cares about playing the game too. It's really something. So.
Oh, 100%. I can't imagine being 18, however many years old he is, playing in the Northwoods League after just going straight from high school. Playing in Northwoods is awesome. I think it's going to be a great experience for him, and I really think it's just going to make him better.
You think it's only one inning out of him, though, before Pichatello comes in?
At this rate, I think yes, but I'm not really sure.
Kendall Ewell fouls off the first pitch from Alex Wallace. Ewell in the game is already 2 for 3. Hit a 2 RBI single in the fourth that scored 2 of the 3 runs for Green Bay. And it's 0-1 as Wallace looks to keep this thing tied into the sixth. Low fastball. So against a hitter like Ewell in a righty-righty matchup, obviously you're a lefty, so you might not know the exact answer to this, but what do you think Wallace is he trying to throw away to Ewell in this at-bat, you think?
I wouldn't doubt it, right? So he threw the first pitch slider that he fouled off. Definitely, so then following up with a fastball there, I bet he just kind of pulls it because I think speeding him up, there's a slider again for swing and miss. But after that, after the first slider he fouls off, I think he can go fastball, try to speed him up, and probably go middle in on him, but maybe just pulled it a little bit.
Well, there's a reason this guy is the leadoff hitter for them. He's pretty much our version of Pearson, just not as good.
Of course.
1-2?
Yes, he did.
Did he? I guess he didn't. It was close. It was close.
So there's Alex going back to that slider.
Seemed like a good pitch on a 1-2 right there.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I thought that was located well. It was down in the way. Definitely got an aggressive take from Ewell here, but this guy held up enough.
Philip Jean Luis given the no, he didn't. And then he did there. Drop third. And English struggled with it at first, but he recovers in time. And he throws out Ewell. But the Rockers tie it up. And we are notched up at 8 apiece into the sixth innings. A high-scoring affair here in the final regular season matchup between the Rockers and the Woodchucks. We'll be back for the sixth on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch. Or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Will Charlton, Brian Ranke with you here today on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. As it's time for the top of the sixth inning. It's an 8-8 game between the Rockers and the Woodchucks as Andrew Jimenez, the new Woodchuck, leads it off here. And he's 0 for 2 with a walk, but that first walk picked up his first RBI of the season as well, so can't really complain about that. Oh, thought that was coming right at us for a second.
Very close.
It kind of had the angle where it looked like it might fall over the foul net right in front of us. Brock Moss late to his third base position. Come on, Brock. 0-2. And he is down for a third time. Strikeouts for Bryce Crabb. That's his third. He struck out the final two batters faced in the fifth, but
See, they also have a Crab as well. I know Isaac Crab for us.
right.
He's a little different pitcher. I wonder what school this kid goes to.
Northwestern St. Paul.
Where's that? Do you know?
It's in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it's University of Northwestern St. Paul. He's from Pleasant Hill, Iowa, and he was on the Minnesota Mud Puppies in 2021.
Interesting.
We've seen this guy twice already this season.
Interesting.
Last time out, he went 1 2/3, allowing 6 hits, 5 runs all earned, striking out 2 and walking 2.
Jeez, well, he's doing a little bit better job today, I'd say, for sure.
A little bit better is an
Shut it down
understatement,
a
I'd
little
say.
bit.
Inside fastball to Jake Baker. Baker, who hit an RBI double in his last at bat, gave the Woodchucks their 8th run. Outside from Bryce Crabb.
Does it seem to you like the fans here are right on top of the umpire, almost the catcher?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I was talking I haven't thrown here, but I was talking to a couple of our other pitchers, and they're saying that it feels like the backstop's basically right on top of you.
I believe it.
Yeah. And also I heard, so usually other night games they have other strobe lights.
They do, yeah.
Back here,
yeah.
so I've also heard some complaints about that being bright as you're throwing.
I believe it. I'm sure it's probably gets pretty distracting for certain pitchers who. I guess I finished my thought without saying something else, but Baker stays alive in the 2-2. Baker picked up what was his 15th hit and second double of the season, his last at bat. So let's see if he can start the offense again for the Woodchucks here in the 6th, who are now looking to retake the lead. Outside and high on the fastball.
Well, how did you like the live music today? Because that's one perk about coming to the Green Bay Rockets
Absolutely.
Stadium. Is you get live music basically every time we're here. And I kind of like it. It keeps it interesting instead of just hearing the same stadium music every now and then.
Absolutely. Baker's fly ball into. Oh, that dropped!
That was hit way.
Whoa. I'll answer your question in a second, sorry, but Baker just towered that fly ball into left center, and neither Ewell or Jackson could make the play on it, and it left the stadium again. That's 2 balls that have bounced out of here in center field today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
I just looked at the flag. I think it was going out to the right early in the game or before the game. Now it's going out dead to left field, so it must have hit the jet stream up there and just carried.
That's crazy. I wonder if we're gonna have a lefty or righty actually pull one today.
I don't think I've seen a right-handed run out here. I don't think all season, to be honest.
No,
I'm sure there might
we
be.
haven't seen a left field home run yet here. We've seen a handful caught on the warning track, but that's it. But like you're saying, the music, I love it here. Yeah, it's great. I mean, this ballpark in general, obviously nothing beats Athletic Park, but this ballpark is a great. I love it here personally, and we got a great setup announcing wise. I get a really good angle at the plate to see pitches, and I can also help out umpires with certain calls as well.
I didn't think you were allowed to do that.
If I will not lie, my discretion has definitely been different on a few certain things that I've seen, but you know that's the way it goes always.
Of course.
Are you a turf guy or a grass and dirt guy?
It depends. So I think an average turf is better than the average dirt, but I think a good grass field is better than a good turf field. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
What I'm talking about?
I get that.
But yeah, so at school we're turf. High school was grass originally, then switched to turf. So I've really played on turf a lot. It's just consistent. It's good for the infielder, so I really don't mind it. Pitching on turf mound's always nice because you know what you're getting. But other than that, I think a good dirt mound you can't beat, though.
That's understandable. 1-2 to English. He stays alive.
I got the opportunity to throw at the University of Virginia Stadium, which is a dirt mound this year, and it was perfect. Like the mound was just pristine, it was gorgeous, and that was awesome to throw on. It was really hard clay, so I just felt like while my foot went down, I just really stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
English. This is in the right, and it is over the head Off Harris at second, and English picks up a hit. That puts runners on the corners for the Woodchucks, who are looking to retake the lead. The Kansas Jayhawks are now on base. Jake squared.
I always think that's funny. Both named Jake, both go to the University of Kansas, and they're usually in the lineup back to back.
Oh, they're always back to back.
It's awesome. I think it's hilarious. I think English actually broke his bat there. Unfortunately,
I think he did.
hitting the slider low and away. But hey, hits a hit, died a hero.
There you go. Whenever the bat dies a hero, that's never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing.
Are they making another pitching change?
I believe so.
Wow, they're putting in their 5th pitch of the game already. That's crazy.
In the one out in the
Top
sixth
of the
inning.
6th inning. So Bryce Crabb is done after an inning and a third of work. And coming in will be the 5th pitcher of the game. And this will be Michael Riley coming into the game. Or will it? I
Another
guess
quick trip to the mound. After the game, swing by Quick Trip and take advantage of their quick hot savings.
Wow, I guess
on all
not.
your
So
beverage essentials.
looks like number 33 there ran all the way out to the mound,
Quick Trip and
realizing he wasn't actually called into the game, and then retreated back to the dugout. And I guess is going to go down to
So it's just pitching out
here through the end of the
Okay.
inning.
Well,
He is
guess
second
so.
baseman number 6, Brennan Holt.
I've never seen that before.
I haven't either.
I thought he did signal to the bullpen.
It looks like it too, but I guess not.
Strike one. You're 2 strikes away from that Bryce
Crabb's still out there. He's
Get
facing
out.
off against Brennan Holt as we got to keep the mic a little closer to our mouse here as the PA announcer is going to keep calling this guy the beer matter over and over again in this inning. As Brennan Holt looks to avoid giving out beer for the 4th at bat today.
Yeah, that's the best part. Throwing at home, facing the beer batter is probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Because no matter what crowd we have, they usually get a little bit more excited when the beer batter comes up, trying to get that 2-for-1 or that half-off beer.
I guess here it's half off tap beer
Interesting.
for
Gotcha.
the next half inning or something like that they're saying.
Do you know what specifically ours is at home?
I'm pretty sure it's 2-for-1 Miller Lights, I think.
Something like that. I believe it's either Coors or Miller Lights.
Away from half price tap beer.
So now a steal for Jake English, his 2nd steal of the game for the definitely speedster of a catcher.
Yeah. How many stolen bags does he have on the year? Do you know?
That's 2 now.
That is
That's
the
two
second
now
one?
for Jake English. Is this the pitching change now?
I think it has to be now.
It is the pitching change. Okay, Bryce Crabb is done. It's a 1-2 count, so they're going to take out a righty for a righty in midst of a count with a lefty.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not really sure the thought process behind it, especially because in the middle of the count, it looks like our first base coach, Hudson Bilodeau, is going over to maybe discuss something with the umpire, seeing if this is legal. But we are unsure. Now it looks like the other umpire and the home plate guy are also going to be talking as well.
It could also just be the fact that Huddy knows the umpires. He seems to know a lot of them
Yeah,
as well.
I heard he either knows them or he just makes sure to make friends with them.
Right.
All right, it looks like they've come to a mutual understanding. They look like they figured it out.
Some nice friendly conversation between Hudson Bilodeau and Philip G. Luis at first base. As Michael Riley comes into the game, the pitcher from Gateway Community College in Arizona and by way of Scottsdale, Arizona, the right-hander coming in 6'2", 195, just finished with a sophomore year. And Riley is coming in for the 12th time as a rocker. Has an ERA of 1.83 and 19 2/3 pitched. A whip of 1.07, opposing batting average of 239. He's allowed 17 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Has walked 4 but struck out 13.
Pretty solid numbers for him. He seems like one of their go-to guys to shut it down in close games.
Michael Riley, 33 Riley now pitching for the Rockers.
I know we've seen him before too. Michael Riley, now the 5th pitcher in the game for the Rockers, as they are.
On your Bud Light beer banner, we only
Well,
need 1 for half price tap
there you
beer.
go. So Brennan Holt will look to avoid being struck out by Riley. Comes into a 1-2 count. As Holt 1-2, and it's high outside on the fastball. Michael Riley is now in for the Woodchucks for the 4th time this season, and was last really successful against Wausau for 3 full innings of work. He also picked up the save in the 8-3 win That was this past Tuesday at Athletic Park. 2-2 to Holt. Holt in the air, so he won't give out any beer, but it's the right field. Baker is not going to tag. Oh, wait.
Actually,
Huh. He
not
dropped
sure.
the ball.
Yeah,
But
I believe it was on the transfer the umpire said, so I guess it's
Now
not
batting for Wausau.
an error.
well, it's not like the other night when
Number 5,
the Lakeshore left fielder Carson Hansen straight up just dropped it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We honestly feel for the kid because I think we've all been in that
Oh,
situation.
I mean, I have myself, so.
Of course, yeah, it's never fun, but definitely a tough situation. We of course get Chucks win out of it, so you can't be too upset about it.
No, you sure can't be. Whenever the Chucks win, it's always a good thing. And we've had 4 straight of those, looking for 5 straight. As Dalton Pearson, who's 3 for 3 with a walk, is back up once again. He's also scored a couple runs. And with runners in second and third, he can pick up a big 4th hit. He also joined the 50 hit club in the Northwoods League today, by the way, a club of only 4 hitters.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, I know he's been in this league for 2, possibly 3. This
3 summers now. This is
third
third,
summer,
yeah.
So I know he's been here. I don't know how the talent has fluctuated over the years, but I'm sure he's kind of pretty used to it.
Oh, Pearson deep in the left field, and not deep enough though.
Gets it right to his buddy.
Yep, right to JoJo Jackson. That will be the first time Pearson is retired, and the Woodchucks leave runners stranded in score position at second and third. We're still tied at 8 into the bottom of the 6th inning as Isaiah Pichatello will be coming into the game for the Woodchucks. We'll introduce him when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Your ticket stub to Stadium.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Capital Credit Union Park in Ashwaubenon. 8-8 in the series finale of the regular season between the Woodchucks and the Rockers. As Isaiah Pichatello, the Wausau, Wisconsin native, comes in for a 4th time with the Woodchucks. So far, he has a 10.13 ERA, a 2.63 whip rate in 5 1/3 innings of work, has struck out 8, allowed 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, has walked 5, and has an opposing batting average of .409.
Half of the 6th inning. Third baseman.
And now with Pichatello coming in, Brian, what do you think you want to see out of the right-hander?
Not the right-hander. Me and Will were just talking off mic, but we know that he throws hard. But I think what we need to see today is the location of the slider. He's got a good slider. He just needs to locate it in and out of the zone. But other than that, just like to see him just fill it up with fastball and slider, just command that and really just play off that.
They're coming in to look to hold the Woodchucks to the 7th, still tied at 8, as Jones already swinging and missing.
See, that's the slider that
That's the slider.
So 0-1 ahead in the count. Good location, low and away from Jones there. It's really good pitch. Hopefully foul that up. You go fastball up here. I'm throwing that slider again. Hopefully get it in the dirt.
0-2. High fastball. Jones in the game, 1 for 3 with a reach on fielder's choice and that 2-on home run that was the first 2 runs of the game for the Rockers. And Pichatello 1-2. Slider, and Jason Jones swings through it. And you're saying the location with the slider, Brian, and he got him. Yep. That's a big confidence boost for a guy like him, too.
Oh, for sure, yeah. He's that big guy that feeds off motion. He's like a big flare guy. Likes to attack and likes when he does well to kind of just feed off that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That brings up Carlos Hernandez, the catcher from Anderson University. This guy is a very good hitter himself, but he's 0 for 4. Oh, wow.
Cue ball.
That's not fair. English makes the play in time. That was a wild looking swing there. You got the cue ball? Is that what they call it?
I don't know why. I've always called it a cue ball. Just because in pool, when you put spin on the cue ball, it just kind of looks the same. So I guess I've always just said it like that, but I'm not really sure.
Hernandez down.
Environmental cleanup hitter. Left fielder
For the 4th time, and that brings up with 2 outs JoJo Jackson once again, as Jackson already with 2 hits on the game, and he is looking to keep the inning going. Pichatello looking for a 1-2-3 though in his first inning of work today. It's a nice first pitch fastball to the left-handed batting Jackson now. He's been batting lefty today because he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, I remember when I faced him, he was hitting righty.
Yep.
Threw me for a loop because I thought I remembered that he was a switch hitter, but when you're out there, kind of forget some things like that. So quickly down to 0-2. But I was thinking about the cue ball. I think my dad may have called it a cue ball when I was younger, and I bet it just stuck. They also, my parents do happen to be on the broadcast right now, so hi, Mom and Dad, I love you.
Always local, daily online, and weekly in print at GoPressTimes.com.
And now Pichatello 0-2 to Jackson. This is hit to Brennan Holt. Nice sliding grab on the ground ball, and the stretch by Jimenez gets out Jackson. We're tied at 8 going into the 7th, and we have a ball game. It's 1-2-3 by Pichatello in his first inning, and that takes us into the 7th here at Capital Credit Union Park. We'll be back for the 8th, or the 7th rather, on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch. Or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just 1 line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
It's all good. As Jesse Donahoe comes to the plate to lead off the 7th inning, it's Michael Riley facing off against the left-handed batting Donahoe. It'll be 2-3-4 for the Woodchucks here in the 7th. 8-8 ball game. As Riley goes off-speed, strike 1.
Not sure about that one. That one looked like it was in the same spot as the first pitch that was called off the plate, but we'll see about that. It looks like an off speed, maybe a changeup. There's the fastball fouled off.
Donahoe already with 3 hits on the day. He's 3 for 4. Another 3-hit game for Donahoe.
Yeah, it seems as of late, especially since they announced the All-Stars, it seems like Jesse's done nothing but just turn it up, and he just has continued his kind of reign on the Northwoods and just keeps slugging it.
Well, he's now 2 away from the 50-hit club as well.
Oh,
He's
I
at
believe
48
it.
in the season.
I'm not surprised at all.
Low off speed once again, and that's ball 2.
It looks like Riley's primarily changeups to the lefties, and then I believe he's going to that slider, I would like to say, to the right-handed hitters. Jesse knocks it. There's 49.
4th hit of the day for Jesse.
There's hit number 49 for Big Jess.
How about it?
You think he'll hit 50 today? You think he'll get his 5th AB?
I mean, he would tie Brent Witter's 5-hit night.
That was crazy.
Now Jesse Donahoe has the second most hits of a Woodchuck this season. Believe it or not, there's not a Woodchuck who had 4 hits, but Witter has 5 in the same game.
Interesting. So it's only 3 to 5 until right now when Jesse Donahoe just got his 4th hit.
Unless if he gets 5, which he still certainly could.
Very much so. I totally agree.
Donahoe now for the 4th time, his 3rd single of the game. He's 4 for 5 now. And Riley facing off against Mark Schallenberger, the power slugging Evansville ace. He's reached 3 times today, but is 0 for 1. Hit by pitch and 2 walks to Schallenberger. And 1-0 from Michael Riley. Well, that felt like one Schallenberger could have tried to tee up on right there.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it was 1-0. Throws the changeup in there for a strike. It's a good pitch, but Shalley definitely saw that. Definitely will take it into account, especially seeing the tendencies as they start to form for Riley. But we'll see as it keeps going.
1-1 outside.
See, I think the one thing that Mark does really, really well is that take. It does look a little funny. It's a little jerky when the ball comes in, but I mean, he does have a really good eye and really doesn't chase that much.
That's very true. Schallenberger 2-1. And he takes another changeup. 2-2. So he'll be looking to pick up a first hit of the game, but get on base for the 4th time. He came in with 18 hits and only 11 games played today. That's something.
Yeah, that's the reason his average is 450.
And he lays off the outside, ball 3, just barely.
That's something Riley's doing really well right now, mixing that off-speed and fastball away to him, kind of which speeds up that fastball, makes it look 10 times harder just because he's playing it off of the same plane that he's throwing the changeup and the slider. I guess it's changeup here.
Donahoe is off to second.
Oh.
Hey, was that a hit and run, or was that just Donahoe stealing?
No, that's there's actually a vault lead. So Jesse had Riley timed up. He was probably in the same cadence of coming set, looking over, and going home. So Jesse had him timed up to where he can take an extra couple steps, get him going towards second base, and that's when you get a really, really good jump.
Let's see if he does it again here, because he timed that perfectly.
He might stay put now that he's tried it once.
3-2. Schallenberger in the air into center field. And it is caught by Kendall Ewell. That's out number 1 here in the 7th. Donahoe stays put. How are you spending the off day tomorrow?
See, I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely going to sleep in, but
That's fair.
I don't know if I'll take it off as soon. My parents are coming to town, so I'm going to see them at some point. But other than that, I'll probably try to get my work done in the morning. Going to throw lightly before I start Tuesday. So throw lightly, probably lift, and then enjoy the rest of the day. Hopefully find some place good to eat, hang out, visit with them.
There you go.
Yep.
Very nice, man. Very nice.
What are your plans? Do you have anything fun going on?
Gonna spend a wonderful day in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, doing something. Maybe go hit 18 or something like that. We'll see.
That'd be nice. I'm sure a lot of our guys are going to be playing golf tomorrow as
more
well.
likely. Maybe I'll see if some of them want to get out or something like that.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I know your Richmond counterpart, Cole Henschel, will probably be doing the same.
He will most definitely be on the links tomorrow.
1-0 to Colin Brigham in. Donahoe, that's a balk. That's a block. Donahoe's going to second.
That's also another advantage of the vault lead. Kind of puts in the back of the pitcher's mind, thinking that he might be stealing, might be getting an extra good jump. So you see there, Riley slips up. It looked like he was almost trying to pick off a second with no runner there.
Right.
So other than him, I don't know how else to describe it other than flailing slightly, but balking and then allowing Jesse to be on second and get him in scoring position.
Bring him in.
There he is.
That's a line drive
Oh,
over
boy.
the wall. At no other ballpark is that a home run, but we'll take it here. The third home run of the season for the Woodchucks here at Capital Credit Union Park, and it's Brigham in, re-giving the lead to the Woodchucks, 10-8.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's his swing. Big fella. I want to say 6'6", 6'7".
6'6".
Use those levers. Just hits line drives in all fields. I mean, he's done that all summer, but that's his swing right there. And when he lives there, especially at this ballpark with a short porch and a small fence, that ball's going to get out every day of the week.
And believe it or not, I'm probably about to shock you when I say this. That's the first home run hit by a lefty here.
Really?
Both home runs were by Berkland and Pearson.
Interesting. That was our first left-handed home run at the Way Park.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Well, at this park specifically.
Yes,
Winter,
of course.
infield bunt, single.
Oh, boy. I actually have a funny story about that. So I want to say about a week or two back, Brent Witter in BP. I was catching up for our pitching coach, Ross Davis. So he's catching up. So I heard him say this, but he goes, "I'm gonna get a bunt base hit today."
Okay.
And of course, that game, I want to say the second, third at bat, lays one down perfectly, hustles it out for a single, and so it just reminds me of that when he did it again today. I don't know if he made the bet though.
He's done that a handful of times.
Yeah,
He's very good at doing that.
Very much so. I think you just have to describe him as a ball player. Like,
Absolutely.
plays the game right, always a hard-nosed guy, swings it well, but always finds a way to get on base, no matter if he's having a good or bad game.
So Brigham re-gives the Woodchucks the lead as Jimenez make contact for the first time, and it's an infield pop-up that I don't know why Mateo Matthews came from first base to make that grab. That's the second baseman's ball, but all right.
Totally agree. Yeah, the first baseman taking charge there is very interesting, but maybe the second baseman lost it, but other than that, it just seemed like he was getting overpowered by the first baseman there.
Number 30, Jake Baker.
So now comes Jake Baker, who has doubled in back-to-back at-bats, picking up his second and third doubles of the season.
2 for 1.
And he hits this one into left field on a push. And JoJo Jackson's under it, and that is out number 3 here in the 7th. But the Woodchucks retake the lead. Brigham hits a line drive home run over the short right field wall, taking advantage of that, being a pulling lefty. And the Woodchucks will look to hold the lead into the 8th when we come back for the bottom of the 7th on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com. Bottom of the 7th inning, it's the Woodchucks on top by a score of 10-8. And we're into the latter part of the game. Bottom of the 7th inning, Mateo Matthews leads it off against Isaiah Piscitello, who would get the win if the Woodchucks stay on top. And Mateo Matthews is hitless so far. He's 0 for 3. Piscitello, 1-0. Matthews fouls it off. He's been doing a good job so far, though, I'd say, with what you've been looking out of him.
Oh, for sure, yeah. He's commanding the fastball right now. Curious to see what he's going to throw to the lefty here. I bet he'll go back to the slider. I'm not really sure if he has the changeup. But just curious to see what he's going to throw. Oh, has he? There it is. Ooh, good miss. Just missing the outer part of the plate there, but I think that was a slider to Matthews that we got.
Looks like Brock Moss is going to let Piscitello go the 7th. No one warming up.
Yeah, it
Which
seems
is rightfully so.
definitely. It seems like the bullpen is definitely hanging out down there. I think we see most of our guys just laying on the turf, enjoying the sun, especially if you're down today, getting some good sun, getting some heat in the back.
I was trying to enjoy it a little bit pregame too, but just sitting down in the chair by the dugout. Matthews popped up into foul territory. English is watching it, and he makes the grab right behind his head.
Those plays are super tough, especially with the wind blowing out. But as the ball goes up and hits its apex, it definitely comes back down and moves towards the pitcher's mound. So those are definitely tough to get going, especially for the catcher, who's usually faced towards the grandstand. As the ball's coming back over their head, it's very difficult.
Now batting for the Rockers, designated hitter number 8, AJ.
So Jake English makes a good play for out number 1, as that brings up AJ Anzai, the designated hitter from Chapman University. And Piscitello has retired the first 4 batters he's faced off against. Not a bad way to start off your 4th outing as a Woodchuck, especially with the numbers he had coming in.
Definitely not. This is definitely a good opportunity for him to get in here, fill the zone.
Anzai lined in the left, but good old Mark Schallenberger is out there to make the grab for out number 2.
Never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
Thought we almost jinxed it there, saying retiring 4 straight. It seems like he just got his 5th.
I will say there have been plenty of times this year where the announcer jinx has happened, and for both sides too, because at home I stay neutral. On these broadcasts, I'm 100% in favor of our Chucks, but I've jinxed the other team as well on at home too, which is not necessarily intentional, but something I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yep.
I definitely didn't mean to do that.
Definitely.
But when I do it to ourselves and I say it at home, it's like, shoot.
Yeah, of course. I've always been curious with the announcers if a no-hitter or perfect game is actually going on. I wonder if they do bring it up.
Jack Coleman took that one right in the shin on a hit by pitch. That's the first base runner allowed by Isaiah Piscitello. But like you were saying, so yeah, let's go back to the combined no. Oh, you weren't here when the no-hitter was thrown.
I just missed it by a few days.
Right. So Ethan Pecco, I didn't say that he hadn't allowed a hit until his first base runner he allowed.
Okay.
I said he just hadn't allowed any base runners yet.
When did the walk happen?
I think it was the 4th inning. I'm pretty sure it was the 4th or 5th. But he went 6, 1, 2, 3 innings and only faced off against 22 batters total. That's struck out 11 of the 22 he faced off against.
That's unbelievable. I mean, he's an absolute stud. That kid's he's a really good guy. There's a reason he went in the 6th round to the Astros. He definitely deserves it, but he really just put that on display for the entire Northwoods this summer. Came in, had however many starts. I think he had a 1 point whatever ERA, but any ERA that starts with a 1 after throwing more than 30 innings and throwing a no-hitter is definitely doing something right.
Well, at the point that he stopped, he had the lowest ERA in the Northwoods League and the most strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that just contributes, that just is him. He's just that guy, fills up the zone, throws 3 pitches for strikes. He's pro. He's everything you want. He definitely can get better, and he knows that, but that's why they draft him so highly, and that's why the Astros think that he's going to be a big part of their future.
But he made mid-90s on his fastball look easy. I mean, he made it look effortless.
That was the best part for me, especially seeing him throw away, not being as right in the dugout, but seeing him just kind of, it looked just relaxed, just being able to flick 92, 94, 96 in there whenever he wanted to. and continued that throughout the game was super, super impressive.
We can keep talking about Petco as that was a ground out 4-3 in style between Brennan Holt and Colin Brinkman. That puts us out of the 7th, and the Woodchucks are on top 10-8 into the 8th. We'll be back for the Woodchucks Bats on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet, track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan, offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
We're into the 8th inning as the Woodchucks lead it 10-8 over the Green Bay Rockers, looking for a series win of 7-5 over Green Bay. Still joined by Brian Ranke on the call here, as Michael Riley is now into another inning of work against the Woodchucks. Jake English singled in his last at bat, which came back in the 6th, and he's now leading off the 8th. Third time leading off in an inning this game, as he is now 2-2 count. Got a pitcher warming up now. McGann's got the gear on, so.
Yeah, McGann's got the gear. It looks like it might be. Oh, it looks like it's number 1. I believe that's
Tyler Mayfield.
Yeah, Tyler Mayfield, who closed it out and got the save last night. So looks like he might be coming back into this ball game. He did only throw 3 pitches last night, so we'll see.
Right, because it was the ground ball on the double play right away, and then it was the fly ball like 2 pitches later, something like that. So, also that was a great move by Brock, walking the initial guy to, especially JoJo Jackson.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, last night and most nights, JoJo Jackson's a good hitter, gets on base a lot. So walking him, setting up the double play, definitely worked out in our favor last night.
So Jake English strikes out to start the inning, and then Brendan Holt puts down a 4-3 ground out. So he still doesn't allow any beer to be sold, which is always not a bad thing.
Definitely nice. Making it a little bit more expensive for the fans this second.
But that's 2 up, 2 down here quickly in the 8th, as now coming up will be Dalton Pearson for a 6th time, and he is 3 for 4 now. And we will for sure see Donahoe one more time, so he'll have a chance to match Brent Witter's total of 5. If he doesn't bat now, he'll bat in the 9th, the leadoff man, as Riley throws first pitch fastball to Pearson, 0-1 to the center fielder from Georgia State. And he hits one foul over our heads. Pearson, 3 singles. They came in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th. Another pitcher is warming up for Green Bay. Are they really going to use 6 pitchers in this game?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Kind of makes sense at this point.
I guess you have to, right? Even though for the most part, Riley's been fairly effective here, giving up 1 home run to.
That's it. Pearson into left center, and he has his 4th hit as well. Pearson with his 4th single.
So at least now it is a lock.
Wow.
We'll have the season highs of 3, 4, and at least 5.
I mean, there you go. Pearson will be the Woodchuck who more than likely finishes with 4 hits the first time this season. He's had 3 a handful of times, so is Donahoe, who's now at 4 as well. And Donahoe's a chance for 5 right here. Can he pick up his 5th hit? The walk-off hero from Friday night against Lakeshore. First pitch, strike 1 from Riley. Last time these two faced off, Donahoe led off the 7th with his 4th hit. 3 singles, 1 double for the Georgia State Panther from Columbus, Georgia. Donahoe.
I'm going a little, what's it, 1-1? I'm going a little backside single here. Maybe over the third baseman's head, maybe in the 5-6 hole, but I think
Okay.
he gets his 5th knock today.
That'd be pretty cool. Keep being alive. So that gives Tyler Mayfield a little more time to warm up. Well, Pearson's in a pickle. And he will try to run back to first. Now he's off to second again. Now he's off to first again. They still haven't put the tag down, and he'll just take the tag there. I'm not even going to try to figure out what that put out was, but Donahoe will be the leadoff man in the 9th after Pearson is thrown out on the base path, and Pichatello is coming out for a 3rd inning of work when we come back for the bottom of the 8th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
Over 600,000 Americans are projected to die of cancer this year. 250,000 will likely battle muscular dystrophy. 5,000 may be diagnosed with ALS. But one person can become the difference. All it takes is you to help researchers improve the health of Wisconsinites by participating in the All of Us research program. Join today to feel the power of one.
To buy your own Woodchucks merchandise, visit the Woodshed at Athletic Park, or you can visit our website, www.woodchucks.com.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
Isaiah Pichatello back into the game. He's only allowed 1 base runner so far in 7 face. It was a hit by pitch to Jack Holman as Cooper Kelly, the 9-hitter, wearing number 9, as is usually the case for the Rockers. One of the hotter hitters, actually, in the Northwoods League. 11-game hit streak now for Kelly after his couple of singles he has today. Or his 1 single and a reach on error, rather. Pichatello looking to get the Woodchucks into the 9th, still up 10-8. 1-1. Little slider there. He's just got to stick to what he's been doing. What'd you say?
Oh, I definitely agree. Like, especially at this point in the game, he has two innings under his belt. Just needs to try to replicate whatever he's been doing. But this is also the point for relievers that haven't either been stretched out as much or is kind of trying to get stretched further and further into games that you kind of get fatigued, get tired, and you're trying to like really battle against that and just keep doing what you've been doing.
And that is another base runner allowed by Pichatello. Cooper Kelly reaches for the 4th time.
Center
2
fielder,
walks, a single, and a reach on air.
Kendall
And that brings up
Ewell.
the center fielder, Kendall Ewell from University of Kentucky.
And to the top of the lineup for that fact, too.
Top of the order once again. They're going through for the 4th time now. Ewell, or the 5th time rather. Ewell is 2 for 4. Was struck out in his last at bat. And that came against Wallace. Kelly's off to second. That's a good throw by English. And Brennan Holt did not catch it. I think he would have been out if he caught it.
I agree. I think it was really close. Holt had to come off the bag slightly, but I think the ball was almost going to hit the runner. So I think if he caught it and just kept the glove there, he might have got him out.
Cooper Kelly, his 15th stolen base of the season now. Right up there with Dalton Pearson, who has 16 after his stolen base today.
Do you know who leads the Northwoods in stolen bases and how many they have? I'm just curious.
I could check. I have the stats pulled up right now. Oh, that one gets away from English. And that puts Cooper Kelly at 3rd now. Yeah, let's see. I have the player stats right up here. Stolen bases. 29. It's Travis Chestnut of Thunder Bay.
I believe we're going to Tyler here. Tyler Mayfield's coming into the game for the 2nd straight day, picking up Pistacello.
So Isaiah is done. And he goes 2 full plus, which will bring in Tyler Mayfield to the game. And we'll stay right here for the meantime. But yeah, Travis Chestnut of Thunder Bay, and he's followed right behind by one of the better hitters. In fact, 2 of the best hitters in the league, Parker Brocious of Traverse City and Joshua Duarte of Duluth. Duarte had 64 hits this season, only 39 games played, batting .400. That is
absolutely ridiculous.
That's absurd. And then you got Dalton Pearson right up there. It's a 343 in terms of qualified players. But then you go to all players and if you scroll down just a little bit, you find Mark Schallenberger right up there. So that whole qualified thing is a really very odd, I guess you would say, way to determine stats.
It's very interesting. I'm sure it's flexible as the year continues, and also I'm sure it's harder too with the Northwood schedule being separated in halves, determining which hitters are technically qualified based on the number of at bats, which pitchers are qualified based on the number of innings pitched. So it's very interesting, but I think individual stats are it's very interesting, especially like when you determine a qualified or unqualified player.
So Piscitello is done. He does not allow any runs. He walks 1 and strikes out 1. And 2 full innings plus. Also did not allow a hit either. 10 runs, 14 hits, one error so far for the Woodchucks. 8 runs, 13 hits, and 2 errors for the Green Bay Rockers. As now Tyler Mayfield is coming in for the 3rd time as a Woodchuck. 0-1 with 1 save that was picked up last night on the 4 or 5 pitches he threw, maybe, if that.
I was actually talking to him earlier. I asked him, I was like, how's your arm feel? Kind of jokingly, because I knew he didn't throw as many pitches. So I asked him, I was like, how many pitches did you throw? Like 6? And he said, no. He threw 3 pitches and got 3 outs. It was awesome. He threw He threw first pitch, ground ball, double play. Second pitch, ball. Third pitch, fly ball. Game over. Chucks win.
And they let the Chucks get hot because of that.
They did, in fact, let the Chucks get hot.
Mayfield's now looking to come in and have definitely a longer outing than his outing last night, as he inherits a runner at 3rd base in Cooper Kelly.
Most definitely. He's an awesome guy, and I also love his delivery. He's a really funky sidearm submarine guy. There's a changeup there for his first strikeout of the season.
How about it? He strikes out Kendall Ewell, too. That's even more impressive. And the changeup, I mean, that's got to be so weird, especially against a righty coming in at that angle where it just looks like it's going up and then just falls right down.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a changeup or slider. It might have actually been the slider. From that arm slide, he's basically thrown from his shoelaces, so rising and cutting to his glove side. So that's really hard for any right-handed hitter to touch.
So now, with that being his first strikeout, that's out number 1 here in the 8th. Kelly's still at third. Do you think he's worried about Kelly at all with the 2-run lead?
No, I don't think so. I think right now you just have to fill up the zone, keep counting the strikes with both fastball and slider. If he scores, it's not the end of the world, but realistically, you're just trying to stop that second run from scoring, give us a chance.
Third base umpire Caleb Kador coming over there to talk with Mayfield. What do you think the reason for that is?
I'm not sure. He's pointing to his hat, so I'm not sure what he thought was going on. Is he saying his socks?
There's something equipment-wise that Mayfield is... Oh, he was wearing spikes.
Wow.
Wait, so does that mean he has to come out of the game? I think he's just putting on different shoes.
Yeah, I hope that's
He was
all.
wearing spikes though. That's why.
I hope that's all that means. But yeah, wearing spikes. I'm not really sure what Green Bay's ruling is on that, but I know for the most part, I think most of our guys have either worn molded spikes or metal spikes themselves. I'm sure Green Bay goes along with that as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rule here is that they don't want you guys wearing spikes. Is that right?
That's what I've heard, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how that would warrant him coming off the mound and how he's the only pitcher we're enforcing that on, but I'm not really sure.
Now you got Brock Moss out there talking it over with Hador, or Phil Jean Luis, that is. And now they're going to go talk to Chris Kreplin, the field manager for the Rockers. All sorts of confusion right now. And this is, well, yeah, it looks like Mayfield now is going to be taking over the shoes of Ryan Blackwell. Yeah, I think he's taking over Blackwell's shoes.
It looks like it was going to do. I think those look like maybe molded spikes or turfs, but hopefully something that'll give them. Yeah, those look like molded spikes.
Well, then it also comes to the conversation of, what shoe size are you? And what do you need? So.
I'm sure that was a scramble to find in the dugout coming off the mound, especially in that sticky situation. Come back, now he's got those strikes, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, it'll be a 2-0 count when it resumes with Jason Jones. And Mayfield, last time Jones had a runner in this position, he hit one over the right field wall here. And I guess now they're saying Jones is wearing the wrong shoes too or something?
It appears like it's that way, so apparently they're doing a whole crackdown on both teams. So for whatever reason, they are now saying that Jones has to also change spikes.
This is hilarious.
It looks like now they're saying it's only on the mound that you need the molded spikes on.
They're going to give Tyler Mayfield a couple warm-up pitches. That's good.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm sure he's got to get a feel for those spikes he's never won before, but hopefully it won't make too much of a difference.
I guess we'll find out. It's going to be a 2-0 count between himself and Jason Jones when the at-bat resumes. And it looks like he is ready to go again. So Jason Jones, the Arkansas Razorback from Savannah, Texas, will step back in. 1 for 4 with that home run and a reach on fielder's choice. That home run was his 4th of the season. A right-hander who pushed it over the shallow right field wall here. And 2-0 from Mayfield. Well, I guess the shoes didn't matter. It was just fastball right down the middle.
Oh boy. I know that's a really.
That was a fastball, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
yes.
it looks like it.
Yeah. No, it's
Hard
always
to tell sometimes.
Oh, definitely hard to tell. But also, I just know coming in that situation, not a standard baseball play by any means. So coming in, it's kind of hard to. Oh, that's good too. Looks like it's in the same spot. Who knows?
I think it just missed a little bit more outside, but it's a 3-1 count now to Jones, and the last thing he really wants is to put him on base.
Yeah, definitely.
3-1. Jones fouls it over our head.
There it is, 3-2 count. Wonder what he's gonna go with here. Throwing a lot of fastball.
What would you go with?
If I had Tyler's slot and his stuff, I would probably throw the slider. Just because he's just so hard right on right. I'd throw the slider again because it basically looks like it's starting maybe even at their foot or their knee and then comes back into the zone. Oh, pulls the fastball there.
Misses outside, and that puts runners on the corners, which I guess it puts the double play ball into effect, which isn't the end of the world, as Hernandez is a guy who has grounded out a couple times today, so we'll have to see. But the tying run now at first base, and I do have a question for you, Brian. So when you're facing off against a lefty, is that the only time you bring out your slurve?
No, so I throw it to righties a little bit, but as I'm now starting, I like to go through the first time in the lineup, primarily off of the fastball and the changeup, and then if need be, if either a long at bat or second time or third time through the order, I'd like to bring out the curveball.
Hernandez on the ground. It's the Holt. Holt fumbles it. And that scores the 9th run. That should have been a double play. I'm sure that's going to be an error. Have to wait and see. Holt had the double play in his hand, but then misplayed it. So I think they're just going to go with fielder's choice instead of error for Hernandez. But that does bring in.
It's time for the GFL Environmental Cleanup.
It's going to be an RBI ground out for Hernandez.
JoJo Jackson.
So now it's 10-9. And JoJo Jackson's being intentionally walked.
An intentional walk has been issued.
He was also the guy who got intentionally walked for the double play ball last night in the 10th.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I know Summerball Edwards here to get at bats, not wanting to intentionally walk guys, I'm sure. Especially back-to-back days, that's not great, but I'm not sure.
Now batting is Rocker first baseman, number 36, Mateo Matthews.
So now it's going to be Mateo Matthews with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Matthews is 0 for 4.
See, maybe that's the matchup. I know subby on left. Usually when a submarine pitcher comes into the game, they try to stack the lineup with lefties, as it's usually harder to. Usually they have the advantage over the submarine pitcher unless you're right-handed.
Right.
So maybe that's the goal to get to the 0 for 4, number 36 here. So we'll see.
Well, that's what we do really well against that Faulkner guy on their team. He's a right-handed submarine thrower, and we got a lot of lefties in the batting order.
Exactly, yeah, so usually that gives us back the advantage.
Mayfield misses in the turf. It's 1-1 to Matthews. Matthews has been struck out, grounded out, and has flown out once and fouled out once. Mayfield 1-1 with the tying run at second base. Matthews grounds it, fouled on the first base line. So now with 1-2, Brian, is Mayfield going to try and force swings and misses?
See, that's really tough. I don't really know how his stuff plays, but I would definitely think that you can chase, especially ahead in the count here, I think you can definitely chase that swing and miss. I just don't know what exactly in the situation would be.
Well, let's find out. 1-2. Went with a breaking ball outside. Change up slider, something.
Something like that, definitely. Some of those sliders back up if you're a little late, so sometimes those are the ones that look like maybe change-ups that are actually breaking pitches.
Matthews on the ground to Holt. He misplays it again, but he's still able to recover. He gets in front of it, takes the hop into his chest, and is still able to throw out Matthews. And the Woodchucks stay up 10-9 as we head into the 9th here at Capital Credit Union Park. Stay with us. We got a good one for you here, folks, on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
It's time for the final frame here in Ashwaubenon as it's the Woodchucks on top 10-9 here over the Rockers. A game that's been over 3 hours already at this point. 3 hours and 15 minutes so far. It's 4:20 here in Green Bay as it's time for the Woodchucks to bat for hopefully the last time.
Yeah, at this point you have to assume at least. We all know what happens when you assume. But hopefully it's assumed these are our last ABs. Hopefully hold on to the lead and close out in the bottom of the ninth.
And now to lead off is Jesse Donahoe, who puts one into right field. And Jack Holman made a leap for that. So Donahoe is retired for the second time. And, what's crazy about that is it feels like Holman isn't even playing that far deep in left and right field. And that might be a hit at another ballpark.
Oh, 100%. I know I was talking to some of our right fielders when they come play here, and they talk about how much further in front of the wall they have to play just because if the ball goes off either the shipping containers or the padded wall that they're going to need to give themselves enough room to go chase down the ball and make a throw to second base.
So now it's Mark Schallenberger. Can't believe I'm saying this, but he's 0 for 2. So his batting average is lying to us today.
Just slightly, but I still think he's going to be all right. 0 for 2 today.
Oh, yeah.
Couple barrels, couple lineouts. He'll be all right.
Schallenberger hits one into left field, and JoJo Jackson's under that. That's 2 quick outs here in the ninth. Second fly out for Schallenberger.
Next batter for the Woodchucks, designated hitter number 41.
So that is already 2 up, 2 down for Michael Riley.
On what, maybe 3 pitches, possibly 4?
I think it's 5 at most. Yeah. But now Colin Brigham, who regave the Woodchucks the lead in his last at-bat, is up. Once again, he hit the second home run, or I guess the third home run of this game, and the third home run for a Woodchuck here this season, the first by a left-handed batter, which is crazy. It's still crazy to me to say, but it is the truth.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we talked about, the whatever distance is, I want to say 280 maybe to right field. Yes, it is a high wall, but left-handers usually kind of love it here.
Brigham ground ball. That's to Andrew Harris at second base. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Riley as the Woodchucks need 3 outs to win another 1-run ball game. They'll be back out on defense to try and do it when we come back for the bottom of the ninth here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
I'm so glad you and Jack are home. His birthday was supposed to be today, right, Mom?
That's right.
He wanted to meet me 8 weeks early.
He sure gave us a scare, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's so perfect. It's just you and me, Jack. Can I take him to show and tell?
We'll see.
The savings are heating up this summer at Cellcom. Save up to $300 on the top phones from our most iconic brands. Plus, save $150 on all connected tablets, smartwatches, and cameras. Keep kids busy this summer with a tablet. Track your steps with a smartwatch, or monitor your cabin with a camera. Now, unlimited data is more affordable than ever with our single unlimited plan. Offering unlimited data for only $29.95 per month for just one line. Visit cellcom.com/save for details.
miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The Woodchucks need 3 outs to sweep this 2-game set here in Green Bay and win their 5th straight game. And no better way to do it than by winning by 1 run once again, which is going to be the case as Richie Lycian is coming into the game to try and close the game. And he's also facing off against his coach at Lawrence University, Chris Krepleen. So we'll have a little bit of bragging rights here if Richie Lycian is able to take down Krepleen's Rockers here today. Lycian coming in for the 4th time as a Woodchuck. He's 1-0, picked up the win against Lakeshore, the walk-off win this past Friday night. He's first facing off against AJ Anzai. First pitch outside fastball. What do you want to see out of Lycian here, Brian?
I mean, I think it's a common theme, just throwing strikes, filling it up with off-speed pitches. But I really think that guys that have success here, especially in the Wood Bat League, are guys that can throw inside, command off-speed pitches.
Now, you also have a save here this season, so what was your approach in the 9th, and do you think Richie should follow it?
I mean, I didn't really have much of an approach. I'm not really much of a closer. I just kind of got put in that situation. But my approach is really just throw as many strikes as I can, make them hit it. And luckily that day I was just commanding my off-speed pitches, and it worked out. I got a couple punch-outs and then just closed out the game.
Lycian, the 2-1 is inside. That's ball 3 to Anzai. Lycian this season, 23.14 ERA, 3.86 whip rate, 2 1/3 pitch, 4 strikeouts, 7 hits, 6 runs all earned, 2 walks. Anzai into deep right field. And he's tied the game. It's 10-10. And AJ Anzai just hit his 2nd home run of the season. The 3rd home run of the game for the Green Bay Rockers.
You know that situation's really tough. You almost know a fastball's coming. Missing both sides of the plate with a fastball there, but 3-1, you're most likely going to get a fastball. The hitter sat it, got it, saw it in the zone, and put a good swing on it, unfortunately.
That's a 3-hit game for AJ Anzai. As now, well, the only way to do it is by going into extras for a 2nd straight game. As Lycian goes off speed inside to Jack Holman. And Holman has not been retired yet in the game. But Anzai, 3-hit game for himself, and he just tied it up with the home run. One 1-1 rather, is swung at. That's a good pitch by Lycian. Does he change his approach at all now, just trying to get it into extras?
I don't know. I don't know if you can really. I feel you have to stick with the same approach when you're out there, no matter the situation. I mean, the game doesn't change no matter what situation you're in. Obviously, it feels different, but you're always trying to throw strikes, get outs, get swings and misses, or even just swings in general and get guys out.
2-2, high fastball again. And the count is full between Lycian and Jack Holman. And the payoff pitch with no outs. It's a ground ball. It's into right field, and the Rockers' winning run is on first base. 3rd hit of the game for Jack Holman, and the 15th hit overall for Green Bay.
That's crazy. Combined 29 hits today on 20 runs, 3 errors for both teams. That's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if I've seen it. I don't think I've seen over almost 30 hits in the game in a long, long time. So it might be since Little League.
This has certainly been an offensive game, without a doubt, as opposed to last night, which was not at all. Green Bay only had 4 total hits last night. I don't know if you remember that from last night, but they now have 11 more than they had all of last night and have 3 more home runs than they had last night. In fact, I'm pretty sure this was the first game we've played here that there has not been a home run hit by either side.
Yeah, I noticed that. I remember the guys in the bullpen were talking before the game, trying to set a line, a hypothetical line, where how many home runs total are going to be hit that day, and the under definitely hit.
Was there a line today?
There was. Usually our go-to line here is 2.5.
A bunt, and he's safe at first. Andrew Harris put a bunt down. And now there's still no outs in the inning.
I was just going to ask if you think he bunt in that situation. Naturally, he just did. Harris just did. And now it begs the question of, do you do it again? No outs, runner on first and second. Do you bunt again, get your man in scoring position, and only need a fly ball to win the game? My guess is yes, but we'll see what they do here. Woodard seems to be playing back at the normal depth.
Streaks are on the line. Cooper Kelly is showing bunts. He's going to put it down. Or he took the first pitch high fastball first. But the Woodchucks 4-game win streak is currently in jeopardy, as the Rockers' 5-game losing streak is also could be coming to an end, as the winning run is in scoring position. Kelly puts the bunt down. Lacine's going to try for third, and they got the force out at third. That's a big out number one here in the inning.
Yeah, that's huge. In that situation, no outs, you really try to get that. You either want to punch out or get that lead runner, and Lacine makes a good play there. Gets the lead runner at third.
So now that brings up Kendall Ewell for the second time in 2 innings. And Ewell, who certainly can draw in the winning run with his bat. He's a very good hitter. He has 2 hits today, a double and a single. And the first pitch from Lacian to Ewell is way inside and nearly hit his inside shoulder.
Yeah, that looks like just one of those sliders like I talked about before. One of those off-speed breaking pitches that just kind of backs up on you as a pitcher and starts almost going the wrong way than you want it to, and you at least account for when you're trying to release the ball.
Lacian 1-0 with runners still on first and second. Outside and away. Woodchucks are going to stick with Richie for now. No arms are loosening up, as Ewell only with 1 out. 1 swing of the bat away from ending this ball game if he puts it in the right spot.
Yeah, that's always a tough spot about having the runner in scoring position late in the game like that. And as we move to 3-0, that looked like the splitter that missed inside, so now you really have nowhere to put him unless you want to load the bases with 1 out. And then it'll naturally, that's never conducive of winning the game, because then you can either get a sac fly or get a base hit to score on.
Does he have the green light is the question. Lacian stepped off, was trying to throw off Harris at second base. It's Harris and Kelly on base right now. And it's still a 3-0 count, but the main question is, does he have the green light? I guess we'll find out. 3-0. And it just misses outside. The bases are loaded. There's a force now at every bag, and the winning run for Green Bay is 90 feet away as they're looking to break a 5-game losing streak. And it's going to be Jason Jones with a chance to walk it off if he hits a fly ball.
Yeah, see, I just noticed Jason looking at his head coach. Hey, head coach is signaling to see something up in the zone and to hit it in the air, as you don't want to roll it over and get a double play here.
First pitch elevated fastball by Lacian. That could have been the pitch to swing at if you're Jason Jones.
Naturally, but after a 4-pitch walk, you're really not swinging that first pitch. So definitely hard to pull the green light and not get your coach to yell at you after that.
Lacian 0-1. And Jones hits it into center field. Pearson's going to try to make the throw home. The throw is a good one to English, and it won't be in time. That's a rocker walk-off, and it's Jason Jones delivering. Green Bay wins at 11-10. They break a 5-game losing streak, and the Woodchucks lose this one 11-10. They split this 2-game set and finish 6-6 overall on the season. Woodchucks now fall to 27-21 overall and 7-6 in the second half. And that is the last time we'd see the Rockers until if we make the playoffs. That would be the next time. But the Rockers are already a playoff team, and they're still waiting to see who they'll see later on. But Brian, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Will. It was good being down here.
But for today, we're not on the road again until next Thursday. And we're back at home for games Tuesday and Wednesday against Battle Creek, where Brian will be starting. So make sure to tune in to Brian's start and game 2 of the doubleheader on Tuesday. But for now, it's a Woodchucks loss of 11-10. I'm Will Charlton saying enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next time on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.